Attention, attention everyone. Your camp counselor leaves. Oh, wait, I forgot my webcam. Gotta switch that. Your camp counselor of the camp. That's me. It's what I do. I live. I live, you see. Watch as I live. Aha.
Okay, enough of that. Welcome back. I'm Jacob.
I'm BB.
And together we are...
The Butter Bunch.
Don't know why I went that direction, but sure. So... You can see maybe there's...
What shall we do today, your dark overlord?
Well done, Tin. I have no idea.
Okay, so enough of that. Right, just to briefly go over this, there is something that actually died today, much like the chat has suggested. It was not one of the camp counselors. It was actually the family's printer, which used to live about there-ish, kind of, or was usually in this corner actually, but I tend to move it. It just started leaking, so yeah, we've had this, and so everything was in completely different positions. So that's why it took a little bit longer than usual to put stuff back and set them up. That being said, one thing I haven't plugged in yet is the light that I normally use to make sure that I'm not visually the Dark Overlord as well as audibly. So I'm gonna see if now, for some reason, it decides to work, because it hasn't for a few days. So let's see. There we go. We have light. That's actually very, very bright. Let me just... There we go.
And God said, "Let there be light."
You know, he sure did. Yeah. Okie dokie. Oh, great spirits of those who are past, can you hear us? Well, that may end up happening today, because today we're going back into nightmare time at long last. And I believe it is time. We're going to camp today, as has been mentioned. So hopefully you'll remember the buddy system. But don't get too buddy now, of course, because today we travel to Abstinence camp. So I guess the real buddy that we have with us today is Jesus. That's the letters I'm getting from this. And I completely forgot to split this episode apart, so I think we're just gonna have to scroll through and hope we stumble across the right part, which I think is actually here. So very fitting. That's a log cabin. That's Lauren as Mario. Oh, I don't recognize this Lauren as Mario thing. Yeah, we're gonna start from here, basically. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I can just go back and I can control it from the page itself. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. Anyway, we'll apparently welcome Abby. This is Abby's favorite Nightmare Time episode. And as I've mentioned in the description, there is one particular character introduced in this that we have been waiting for. Well, I've been waiting for some time, because I haven't seen their debut, but I've seen them in other stuff, and BB, of course, doesn't really know them at all. So, and neither does Aidan, who just showed up now.
Wow.
The Butter Bunch.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, nice try. So yeah, we'll get to that character in a second. Apparently, we're forgetting a few characters on that list. But then again, I don't know the characters on that list because, remember, unlike the other Starkid stuff, I haven't seen Nightmare Time yet. So this is just as much of a blind reaction for me as it is for everyone else, apart from this first part, which we will skip. We will watch through a little bit, and then we'll start properly.
Yes, you need a bud. The herbs are biz. Just bring a light for all the hits.
Remember all this?
God, the bird.
Can't be missed.
Yeah.
Roll it, pack it, light it up. Smoke
Might as well go ahead. Yes, that's what drugs do to you. Oh, I don't see anything else other than that.
Oh my god, that face! The face! The face of the crowd.
You still need a doctor's note if you want them drugs.
What doctor's prescribing Perky's buds to people? Anyway,
You need a doctor's prescription to buy weed in a lot of
that's
states.
not what I was getting at. Anyway, so just for the reference, KW, yeah, I think it's whenever I press start stream is that the next message after that's the first one I can see, so I literally can't scroll up past that. But okay, so apparently KW had a character list, so you know we're just waiting for the one character. I think maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, we're in the Smoke Club or you're out. Well, we're out for now because we're going to camp. Smoke Club's jurisdiction ends, before this camp starts.
Oh, the nerdy prude must die girl must be here, isn't she?
Yeah, what, of Grace Chastity?
Yeah.
Potentially. I mean,
She
considering
probably is like either a model student or she is literally running the camp. I wouldn't be surprised.
the padlock here does actually imply a chastity belt of some kind, so yeah, potentially. And yes, I'm in the word drugs. That's fine.
Oh.
Narcotics, which you might like more.
Oh.
Well, clearly the camp's working so far, just like a treat.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
Hold on, was that Jeff Blim for a split second?
What, does he kill people who aren't abstinent? Oh my god.
Oh, I think the axe was timed to the beat as well, actually.
That's for sure. He is a walking night terror.
Okay, well, apart from the fact that Shaw and Terror are kind of a weird rhyme to each other, this song actually sounded a bit familiar for me because I think it has the same tempo, maybe, and some of the same melody as Literal Monster, which is one of my favorite songs, and not my actual favorite song from Nerdy Prudes Must Die. We'll get to that one in due time, obviously. But yeah, anyone who's watched that, yeah, like... He's a literal monster. Yeah.
And his blade is sharp as a saber tiger's bite.
Oh.
And if you think you'll stand your ground, you better think twice.
Looks like his legs are a bit wrong, so, you know, we'll be able to outrun it. It's fine. Anyway, can we see the character list now? Did you post it again? Oh, okay. So we don't have a vampire, lizard lady, girl with a religion belief, wizard wanting more from a goddess, demon guy, and demon girl with a mechanic heart, and owlbear and puppy. That's not going to make as much sense on this channel as it would on any of our mains, actually, except BB's.
He's got the size that humbles.
Got it.
He's got the hands that rumble. He's got the steps that crumble ground.
And apparently he's got disciples too, based on this song.
He's got the time for trouble. He's got the mind of a psycho.
I always love these horror characters that trip over nothing.
He's bound to stab you in the back. Oh, he's the X-Men. Oh my God, he's the X-Men.
That's what I call myself on Bed Wars.
I thought you were the bowman. What do you mean?
I'm both of those things. I'm Axeman when it comes to melee.
He's got you doubting your every whim. He's got you thinking about your next of kin.
I do love I love the way that this is shot at. It's probably the best music video I've seen out of the ones so far, except for maybe that one in Honey Queen, actually towards the middle of that, the one where Lauren was literally like on a target somewhere. As far as production, this is I think my second favorite.
He is arriving, ready or not. His spirit is hollow. no. And his
Again, like I guess this song is a bit of a half rhyme issue. I
They
think.
could have reused they could have reused beats and stuff. And that's what I would do.
I mean, if you're talking about space a funnel, I don't know, see the light at the end of the tunnel, something like that, maybe. That's what. Yeah,
You won't
I'm not
see
talking
the
about the
light
beat
in
right
the
now. But
tunnel.
yeah, he's a literal monster. No, I'll let that go.
and silent still. And you may have brought a gun, but it's Hatchetfield. He's got
That's true.
Well, yeah, but a gun should be able to kill him, like unless he's immortal. Like, dang.
It really does depend. I mean, I'm getting some I'm getting a sense of Jason Voorhees at the moment, so
The
potentially
Taken
not.
didn't get shot down very easily.
Have they considered just like
Watch
strapping him
my
with
Alan
the
Wake Let's Plays if anyone doesn't get the reference.
to Jason Voorhees? Like, just like shoot him enough where you pin him down for a second, throw a explosive on him, run away, explode him, and if he still survives after that, just keep shooting him.
Yeah,
Jason
make sure
literally
make sure
does
doesn't
not
make
die,
sure,
though.
make sure doesn't teleport as well. If you've seen the film theory of that.
Oh my god, he just disappears because
Well,
horror
the-
movie magic. It's like
Well, I mean,
oh,
Jason went to
conveniently
the
they just
future at one
disappear.
point. That was what Jason X was about.
Didn't he go to space as well? Or was that Freddy?
Both. He was in the future in space.
Okay.
Yeah, he was killed and then revived as a zombie, and then cryogenically frozen, and then brought in a spaceship in the future and woke up.
Of all people to bring on a spaceship with you.
I don't remember the reason how that happened. I think
Yeah,
there was a
you know-
reason
you know
they
the-
gave, but I don't remember
You,
what
you
it
know,
is.
you know the hypothetical. It's like, if you had to go to a desert island, you're gonna bring three people. Or in the space, bring 3 people. Who would you bring? I don't know. How about Jason Voorhees?
How about
I mean-
zombified Jason Voorhees?
I mean, okay, technically you can like throw Jason into the sun though. If you throw Jason into the sun, I mean, even if he doesn't get burned up, he'll be just trapped in there in immense pain for eternity.
Well, okay, but
Like
again, I
hell.
bring up now. You make a good point. If we didn't have a
Jason
movie
becomes
where
the
his
new
legacy,
sun god.
yeah, but the thing is, we also had a movie where his legacy was so like haunting to like that one child, Tommy, I think it was his name. That Tommy, I forget if he became Jason or if he hallucinated Jason. Anyways, so regardless, figurative. Metaphorical, real, living, dead, it doesn't matter. You literally just don't get rid of Jason.
Dang.
There you go. Yeah. I'm on the box office is strong.
The writers found anything they could pull from their ass for that character to stay.
He's the
Yeah, pretty much.
Axeman. Oh my
Yep.
god.
I think you I think you missed the line there, Aidan, where they said they said he's daddy's lumberjack.
Eh.
Oh,
He's
okay.
ugly.
It's been
He's ugly.
I'm so used to it by now.
He's ugly, and he doesn't even talk. Like, I mean, if you're gonna be ugly, at least you do is like have like a nice voice.
I know
like,
we haven't heard him talk yet. This has just
Mm.
started. Again, if it actually happens to be Jeff Blim, then the singing voice is covered. Ah, yes, lost inside those demon eyes. Wouldn't be just be.
Watching nerds run for their lives.
I guess you could say nerdy prudes must die.
Yes, you can.
Now, hold on. I critique something here.
Wait,
I
is
think
nerdy
okay.
prudes must die attached to Hatchetfield?
Yes.
Yes.
So if you go back, there was you see where they lift the axe up from like the broken like stump of the tree.
Oh, that did not work. I went back, and for some reason, this is a different image I did not see before.
Right, I definitely think it went forward.
You couldn't go back, so you went forward.
Oh no, I think the scrolling thing might be back. Oh wait, no,
Oh.
it's not. It's just flimsy. Okay, I'm
Oh.
not trying to score anymore.
Sure.
Oh my god!
These woods belong to him, and we're all at his peril. If you see him, then you cross the line.
I kind of hope she gets to act in this one, though. Like, I think it'd be good if she acted in this one. I don't think she had a role yet, has she?
Is left in him.
Yeah, we just had like a brief appearance last time, but not so much.
She hasn't had
Yeah,
like
I
a
think-
main role or like a decent like character.
I
role.
think this might be the time.
Not a god, but a devil, evil with a damn design. Watching nerds run
Okay,
for
we're inches
their
away, right? I
lives.
Oh, I just realized they changed the rhyme scheme from I'm pretty sure it was from AABB to ABAB for that line, actually, for the bridge.
I have no idea about these music terms, but yes.
It's actually a poetic term. It's for rhyme schemes. It depends like which line rhymes with another.
To be fair, music is just a type of poetry.
With a beat.
When I think of music specifically, like aside from songs or type of poetry, sure. But think about like encompassing the whole of music, I'd say that counts as something different. Then again, still under Apollo's jurisdiction, so close enough.
The size that humbles, he's got the hands that rumble.
There. Okay. Hold on. You saw that, right?
Yes,
The
I saw him lift the axe.
no, but don't you see? He didn't lift it from the stump. He missed the stump.
Oh, right, okay.
That crumble ground for the sound. He's got the time for trouble. He's got the mind of a psycho. He's bound to stab you in the back. Oh, he's the X-Man.
More like chop you in the back, but yeah.
Oh my god, he's the
They weren't good enough disciples, I guess.
After a night of beer pong and Jaeger bombs, Stephanie Lauder
Okay, that's a good transition. The way that sounding thing is the blood splatter was actually a vomit from being drunk. That's nice.
pukes into the toilet of a restroom at Hatchetfield High. She knew she'd pay for drinking so much on an empty stomach, but it was the last party of the school year. As the hangover thumps in her head, fellow student Grace Chastity peeks up from the next stall over.
Of course she
Oh my
does.
goodness. Steph, are you alright?
Beat it, Chastity.
You got a tummy ache? Was it the
Oh, okay, so Steph is in this as well. It was
meatloaf?
yeah.
I ate the meatloaf.
Relax. I didn't eat anything. That's the problem. I'm just a little sick this morning.
Sick?
600. Oh, nice.
Really? Sick
That's a
with-
lot. One person.
Oh, heck.
Hmm?
No heckin' way, Steph. Are you pregnant?
Yeah, Grace. I'm pregnant.
And she believed it. Oh dear.
The sarcasm lost on her, Grace marches from the restroom.
I'm surprised. Grace is one of the most sarcastic people ever, but alright.
Weeks later, a stretch Cadillac Fleetwood thunders down a dirt road.
As you know,
Back
she's just
seat,
very straightforward.
Steph tries to explain.
How many times do I have to tell you, Dad? I'm not pregnant.
Across from her sits Solomon Lauder, the mayor of Hatchetfield.
So what? You think you're getting out of this on that little technicality?
Fair.
Stephanie, I'd like to have an intelligent conversation with you if you don't mind.
Oh, that's a line from Manipula's Must Die as well. Also, I'm guessing that, but for reference, Steph is in high school, so, the idea of, getting drunk an after-school party, not exactly age-appropriate for her as of right now.
In other words, shut up.
I love how this dad character is the complete opposite to Bill, and they're both played by Corey.
You know what's happening this fall.
We all have that one friend who doesn't understand sarcasm. I'm the token neurotypical one, so I have several.
The election.
The election. You know how many questions I've already had to field about you and your nocturnal activities?
I'm surprised they're that interested. It is a small town, after all.
So send me away. Get me out of your hair until November.
Oh, no. Your absence won't quash the rumors. It'll only feed them. I won't allow this town's imagination to wander. They're going to know exactly where you are, what you're doing, and more importantly, what you're not doing.
And more importantly, who you're not doing is probably the next line
Seriously?
that would have been.
You're really making me do this. Abstinence camp?
I love that this logic here. Send me away, get me out of your head. No, I'm not going to send you away. I'm going to send you away. But people will know about it.
In the heart of Witchwood Forest, at the edge of a crystal
Obviously
clear-
smoking a good fashionable cigar, not one of Perky's buds. Too low maintenance for the mayor of Hatchetfield.
Lake, the Abstinence camp is brimming with chaste teens. Two campers, Mary and Noah, reunite after a school year apart.
Noah!
Mary! You pumped for the cross hike?
I'm surprised that, anyone gets into abstinence camp more than once. Depends if people think the measures are sunk in or not, I suppose.
Will the meek inherit the earth?
Matthew Pie
Yeah!
It seems like those two have got it. Their parents are wasting their money at this point. Message received.
Yeah,
Steph
it's
watches
like
them jump
conversion
up.
therapy.
Except you've already been through the conversion, so what are you converting to with the second round of therapy?
Up and down.
Kill me now.
A baby blue Studebaker zooms down.
Yeah, but that's the
dirt
thing.
road
No
toward
one
them.
actually converts,
Spank
so they
off
just
and
keep on
sits
going.
Well, it seems like those two, then they were having a conversation just themselves. Unless they thought they were being observed, which maybe they did, but it doesn't seem like it. It just seemed like, oh, they've been so thoroughly indoctrinated they don't really need to be here anymore.
In the driver's seat with the top down, his hair whipping in the wind, he looks up as the car passes under the huge hand-carved welcome sign.
This is the last character you would ever want to see at abstinence camp.
Camp, I don't want to bang. There's a blast from the past. But we all gotta do our time, and your time has come, little.
So
So
welcome back,
everyone
Ted.
goes.
Well, yeah, this example B was saying, I guess, of like, not everyone gets converted. But yeah, anyway.
Bro.
In the passenger seat is Ted's teenage brother, Peter Spankowski. He pushes up his glasses, lamenting. Oh, man. I'm gonna miss the Honey Festival.
Oh, don't worry about it, Pete. There'll be plenty of honeys for you to gawk at right here. All those
Of course.
dressed church girls in their little hiking shorts.
This is another interesting, like, foreshadowing for Nerdy Prudes, I suppose, even though Ted's not in that one.
Camp.
Oh, well, I guess he technically is, because homeless guy. Meh.
Well, if that don't get you hard, nothing will.
Yeah, but this is abstinence camp.
It's torture. Those sick bastards. Oh, I'd take the rack or the gallows any day over another no-nut summer.
So there's, like, no pulling off? Like, none?
None.
How do they even enforce that?
There is
Oh,
something
they got
very
it.
funny about seeing like the stereotypical nerdy character all the way down to the voice being like, so there's no pulling off.
The the Nerdy Prude, of course. Okay, and since you've mentioned the characterization of Peter Spankowski here, it's important to know, this character we've technically seen before in The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals. Remember that one scene where a character was like, "Excuse me, I have been waiting for my hot chocolate. I have very low blood pressure." Or was it high blood pressure? I forget which one. That one randomly, yeah. You can see the costume's exactly the same. And since we brought this up last time, that character was originally played by Robert Mannion and has been once again replaced by Nick Lang.
Scare tactics. Make
Although there is another recast at some point with Joey Richter, so I was expecting him at this point, but maybe that was a decision that came later, which means that Nick Lang has once again decided to take a back seat, despite the fact that whenever Nick Lang is on screen, a lot of the time he will just steal the show entirely. We've all seen Dolores, you put down that cake.
I love watching your whole body swerve
get
as
it
you're
right.
doing the impression.
You gotta like fully do it, right?
Uh-huh.
Actually, this is the thing about voice actors. Sometimes people might not know. I know you know, but for like the audience's sake, sometimes like putting the physicality into it like actually helps with the performance.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the voice
Like
actor
sometimes
for...
with Soldier's character, I do this with my hands for some reason. It has nothing to do with the actual character that I'm portraying for any of Citrus's videos, but for some reason, it gets me into the mood with this voice. I don't know,
Well,
I
yeah.
don't know why.
Tom Kenny does a similar thing, right? For like SpongeBob's laugh, right? If you ever seen him like try and do the laugh, he like
Yeah.
does this weird thing where he like smacks.
Yeah, like it's like the flap. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he also like sometimes keeps his hand here for the entire voice, but then like does the flap specifically for the laugh. I think that's also because sometimes what voice actors will do is they'll like try to like press certain parts of the like resonance areas to force the change, which is honestly not always the best practice.
That's probably why he doesn't do it the whole time.
But potentially, yeah. It's one of the things I saw COVA do that at one point. I was like, oh my goodness, you're like jabbing your own throat here. And then he said, like, don't do this normally. He was still trying to break the habit at that point.
Also,
Anyway.
Ghost Kitty, I do agree. I thought this whole time he sounds kind of like Shaggy, but I didn't want to mention in case I sounded crazy.
Yeah, well, the Nick Lang version sounds more like Shaggy than either the Joe Richter or the Rotmanian version.
Make you paranoid. You'll be laying in your bunk at night, jumping at the shadows. Years later, you wake up screaming, swearing you can hear his footsteps out there. His axe dragging behind him.
This is some loud footsteps. Why do the footsteps sound like gunshots?
Oh god. Yeah.
I'm pressed me behind the scenes open stage if it's necessary, but only on stage role he wanted
Sweet
was
Jesus, those are round eyeballs. I hate it. That's a real life person that I'm seeing with eyelids go up that high. I didn't know that you could do that.
It's like
where are they? His eyelids don't exist. In fact, not only are they so high up, I don't see them.
It's like they're gonna fall out. Like his eyes are gonna fall off.
Right? Like,
He's like,
loose
it's
there,
like that
man.
one. It's like the mask that Eustace puts on to scare Courage.
God, I hate. Ooh, voice crack. I hate all of that.
Okay, well, I was just gonna say that I was reading this. The only auntie role he wanted was Obi-Wan in Annie, which interesting as well because I'm pretty sure he was also Pappy in that, but I'll have to look back. I honestly prefer him as Pappy, quite honestly. We're gonna paint these walls, right? Anyway.
In fact,
the Studebaker
I
Street.
meant to say do the Beetlejuice voice. I forget what it was. Probably. I haven't heard about this particularly.
Are we going to Chastity Camp?
Abstinence camp, but yes.
Abstinence, Chastity.
I'm not getting any closer. Get the hell out of my car. You're walking the rest of the way, Dorcas.
Oh man.
Dang.
He grabs his knapsack and climbs out.
Yeah, he became Ben 10 for a second.
Oh
Takes off like a
man.
bat out of hell.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Far away as he can get from camp. I don't want to bang.
Yeah, he's put one hand on the steering wheel, please, Ted.
And the thing that dwells
There we go. Thank you.
coughs, fanning away
Wait,
the
why is he
dust from
taking
the
his
sauce.
kid to Abstinence Camp?
That's his younger
Because-
brother.
Oh.
I
Because
guess.
everyone goes there at least once, and now he has to
Ew.
do his time.
That sounds like that makes it sound like a prison, which basically is a prison, but you know.
Well,
So there you go then.
come on,
Well,
feed.
yeah, but there's not supposed to market it as a prison, genius.
Yeah, no, they're not.
He's
It's
not a
Ted who said
marketer.
it was
He's
like
just a
prison.
random guy, and he
Yeah,
and he
he doesn't
went there
like the
just like everyone else. In fact,
Yeah,
he
he
has
doesn't-
trauma from there.
Yeah, he doesn't like the place. He actively made it sound like the worst thing possible for his younger brother because he's just, it's Ted. Obviously, he's going to do that.
Hidden amongst the trees, a figure watches.
Oh, wow, this is quick.
Glassy eyes. In the mess hall, campers file through the registration line. Steph stands in front of a counselor who points to her cell phone and shakes a plastic container.
She has a roll.
Toss it in the bin.
Are you crazy?
Yay!
What if there's an emergency?
Rules are rules. The only screen here is sunscreen.
Steph rolls her eyes.
Wait, so let me
Interesting
get
tagline.
wait. So let me get this straight. To help teach abstinence, they're going to actively take away the children's phones and just have them chilling at camp with each other with very little distractions.
I can see both the advantage and disadvantage of this.
I
method.
don't know because I mean I feel like when you're just kind of chilling and you've got nothing to do, sometimes you start feeling that kind of way, and that doesn't help if you're meant to if they're constantly talking about abstinence.
What if you're around other people? Anyway, so
Well,
right.
you still feel that other way. You don't stop feeling it. It's because you're
Okay,
around.
advantage and disadvantage is that it takes away potential access to things that might also lead to that very temptation. But it also, yeah, it does leave you with, just
Little
I
to think
suppose
about.
your thoughts and teenage hormones, as Athma would say.
Yeah.
So I can see why it's a drawback in both senses.
I mean, I mean, you could at least give like dedicated phone time in public. I don't know.
Or
Like-
I guess put I guess limits the access to other sites like on their particular Wi-Fi if they had that option.
I mean, yeah, that would work.
Yeah, yeah, but efforts.
Oh, I think Ghost Kitty. I think Ghost Kitty
Ghost
just learned
Kitty.
what I think Ghost Kitty just learned what Nightmare Time was about.
We're on season 2, but it's there you go.
The real nightmare is Grace Chastity.
The real nightmare is Ted Spankowski so far.
They motion to a table full of pink and blue t-shirts, asking Steph,
What size do you wear?
Small.
the counselor hands Steph
What was that face for? What are you
Like,
trying to insinuate?
It's like, oh, are you small? I mean, you look a little bit more like a medium. I mean, like, have you seen those love
How dare you give me the shirt? 2 minutes later. Yep, I'm okay. I'm gonna go inside to the camp now. Goodbye.
passes out due to low blood pressure. He just cuts to like someone just dragging them in, like.
All right, we're gonna take attendance. Okay, Peter, yep, you're here. Grace, of course you are. Noah from earlier, whatever the other character's name was. Yep, you're both here. Stephanie Lauder. Oh, she is dead. Okay, moving on.
Well, at least she took her chastity vow properly. She never broke it, unlike all you suckers.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say, what part of the vow involved dying, but now you explained it. Okay.
Yeah.
Funny.
At a nearby check-in desk, another counselor is digging through Pete's bag.
Well.
Virginity. What does the shirt say? Virginity. What?
Probably something else. We might get a full shot later.
Virginity saves.
Don't we, Mr. Spankowski?
The counselor removes a Ziploc full of chocolates. I need those.
Chocolate.
My
Chocolate!
blood is very low.
There you go. Well, so yeah, like Abby said, low blood sugar.
Trash rots your teeth and your soul. Have some of nature's.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was
He
a
tosses
puppet.
Pete
Okay.
a box of raisins and ushers him along. Pete walks off.
A
shaking
box
his head.
of oh.
Raisins are literally dried grapes. I don't know about nature's candy being raisins specifically.
Raisins? Fuck this place.
Oof.
Later, Steph sits in an outdoor amphitheater, looking down at
Okay, virginity rocks. That's what it is. There you go.
the pink shirt.
Also,
I probably commissioned these, by the way, just for this one Nightmare Time video. Like that's dedication.
they will have made a incredible mistake if they do not have these kids eat Kellogg's Corn Flakes every morning.
I thought you were going to say they would have made a mistake if they didn't sell these shirts, which they might have done. We never know.
I mean,
No.
I wouldn't buy these shirts. What am I saying? These shirts are kind of cringe. I wouldn't buy these shirts.
I mean, the point is to either support Starkid or just be for the sheer irony and be like, why? People would be like, why on earth are you wearing that? It's like, well, have I got a series for you? And then they return the next day scarred. What have you subjected me to?
All summer.
Yeah.
She reads the phrase.
But no, I
printed
need
on
them
the
to
front.
have like cornflakes.
Kennedy rocks.
You could say that again.
From behind her, Steph hears a familiar voice. It sends a shudder down her spine.
Grace Chastity.
Like I said, people are just wasting their money with this. Like, Grace Chastity being here. Well, I mean, I guess in Nerdy Proves we do get a reason as to why she might be here, but like, no.
Well, I mean, I guess she just wants people to talk about how great she is, you know, because she's so into it.
You would think that, but that never seems to really come up too much with her, honestly.
Or maybe she likes to feel better than everyone else. That also could be a thing.
Kind of, yeah.
She's all like, "Oh man, I'm so pure. Are you pure? Oh, you're not as pure. Oh, you silly goose. You should try to be like me. I'm so pure. I never even looked at someone like that. I'm that pure."
Essentially, yeah.
I get a holy bath every Sunday.
We do at one point see her bathing routine.
Runs up and throws her
What?
arms around
Oh,
Steph.
dang.
She squeezes
Moving
with all
on.
her might.
I
The
only
nearby
bathe in
counselor
holy water.
Yeah, I'm just not going to explain that.
to the hugging girls and yells.
Hey, that's long enough.
Oh my.
Grace lets go, smiling at him.
It's okay. We're just friends.
We're not the
Keep
lesbians.
it that way.
He walks off.
Whoa.
Don't
Oh,
worry,
God.
they will. Nothing's going to happen between those two.
Yeah.
Hopefully, anyway.
And Grace turns back to Steph.
I'm
God,
so
when
glad
people
you're
when
getting
people
help.
say, "Oh, like God," there's been times in my life, especially IRL, where like people be like, "Oh, we're friends." Like, are we though? I don't really know you. I wouldn't really consider you a friend.
It's kind of the same thing people say when they're like when they're like fighting with each other and they say, "Oh, we're just playing around." It's like, and are you really?
I'm really worried about you after that day in the restroom. You know, when you thought you were pregnant. I figured you might be too scared to reach out to others, so
No, I'm here by
told
four.
everyone.
What? You told everyone? What? No!
I feel like you should have seen this coming a mile away.
I would tell everyone. Why would you tell everyone?
After
That's
her being
horrible.
told this, them making it a point that she didn't get it with sarcasm, and then following it up immediately with the conversation of sending her to abstinence camps, who else would have incited this, Aiden?
No, that's horrible. Why would you do this?
I mean, it could have been that, to be fair, it could be the case that, you know, she just could have told Steph's dad. But yeah, now we know that she was not that subtle. Then again, she also did just say that in that day that she thought she was pregnant, which means that she probably realizes, at least in her mind, that she got it wrong. Which probably means she's got some tone to do as far as you know, Steph's reputation. At least after the camp finishes.
No, well,
because,
no.
oh my.
She thought that she was pregnant, but the problem wasn't the pregnancy. The problem was that she was having sex in general. Which that would still be accurate in her little head.
Potentially, but well, I mean, the implication here was that she told people that Steph was pregnant, not that she had sex.
No,
People
the
presumably know
implication
about
is that. Well, yeah, but like she just. Well, how do you get pregnant, Jacob? How do you get pregnant?
That's not what I was getting at.
Yeah, point being, she kind of slut shamed her to the whole school.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think she was just like, oh yeah, she is pregnant. It was definitely something like, oh yeah, I hear she's pregnant, or oh yeah, I hear she got like
overheard her.
railed
She
last
thought
week or
she was
something.
freaking out
Speaking
about
of which, actually,
pregnant.
how
Oh
do you start that conversation? Might I add? How would a
We
character
saw the
like
start of the
this?
conversation, right? We saw the start of the conversation between these two.
No, not these two. How did she tell others though? Like, how do you bring that into conversation?
By starting rumors and telling everyone around.
I don't. I'm not asking for point B.
What Grace said here was that she thought that Steph was too scared to reach out to people, so she did it for her, which means that Grace herself would have started the conversation, probably out of the blue, because she's not, let's say, close to anyone at school, so
She doesn't.
she probably just went up. She
dude.
probably went up to random people and started saying that.
Like,
Just
oh my
like,
God,
hey,
I
John,
heard-
you who are why are you here? John, did you hear that she had so much sex and she thinks she's pregnant? Dude.
I think
Oh
she
my
needs
God,
our help.
Kylie.
She needs our help, guys. She thinks she's pregnant. That means she's been having premarital sex.
Now you get it. Now you get what's happening. There we are.
You know, the shame. It's slut shaming. Yay. Not yay.
He's just a little stupid. He doesn't understand Grace Chassis like I do. I mean, I actually do, because I have seen where this character goes. So I do get what she's about, honestly. More than what she's giving away here.
Grace Chastity till your dying breath, dude. I can barely look at her.
God, girls like Grace Chastity annoy me.
Fair enough. I mean, Grace Chastity does kind of remind me of somebody else that I have had dealings with as of recent, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, she does kind of remind me of her.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
Do
just
I
being
get what you
mean.
guys are talking-
No, you were being mean. That's mean.
Care about you, Steph. We want to
I
help you.
don't understand the reference.
We'll explain later.
Okay.
You started the rumors.
Oh.
I have you to thank for all of this.
Pretty much, yes. She's awful, but also slightly lovable. That's only because she's played by
not.
Angela. She's only lovable because she's played by Angela. That's the issue.
No, people.
It's the
no,
casting. It's kind of like Snape in a sense. The only reason we like
I-
Snape is because he's played by Alan Rickman.
No,
I
here's the
just
thing.
don't see
No, my
I don't know where you
experience-
guys are
like
getting this.
me seeing people like this online and in real life. I get scared and annoyed of these people so much because like they act all nice when really they're
Once
just
we
as
get
bad as the
to
rest of us.
once we get to Nerdy Prudes Must Die, then it will make sense to why people think she's lovable.
Well, she's not lovable
Aside from
in
being-
this context. She's
Aside from being played by Angela.
this context. Oh god, this girl.
You're welcome.
Oh.
You
started slut-shaming rumors! What the hell? I would strangle her.
The face. Angela has the best smiles, I will say, as well.
This girl about to get strangled.
They're all cartoonishly wide, but they're all cartoonishly wide in like different ways. It's kind of like a microcosm of Rowan Atkinson in a sense.
Alrighty, campers, gather around, take a seat, and give a big "I don't wanna bang" welcome to your
Oh, okay. I thought that was something that Ted made up. No, it's the actual motto. Of course it is.
camp directors and youth ministers, Jerry and Jerry.
Music thumps, a
Hmm.
pair of cheery
Let me guess. One of them is a male Jerry, one's a female Jerry.
tryhards, one in blue and one in pink, begin to sing.
Of course, yeah. Oh, hey, John Mason. Okay, I have to say this already. You know, one side right ear, side left ear. Headphone users, you got a different experience there.
The production value, though. Oof, we're going up in production value for these things. I'm so glad.
I mean, we are by that, which I mean we are filming outside. But yes, I did say that to the start of the first song. That was my
Question: Is
second thought.
Nightmare Time getting a season 3?
To my knowledge, no.
Oh hey, we just got a flash flood warning.
I think they're kind of mostly done with Hatchetfield at this point.
Oh, dang, that's kind of sad.
Mm-hmm. Angela is an incredible actor because Grace, especially in AC, evokes so much variables, so I can't. I think that's also. You know what? I take it back. I'm not comparing Grace to Snape. I'm more so to Draco Malfoy. That's more of the comparison that we're going for here. Same idea.
Hello,
you know,
Potter. Are you going to tell my father, Potter?
No, he would be telling his own father. That's the
Oh.
thing. My father will hear about this because yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you've seen a little bit of, I guess, a caricature of Draco Malfoy to a certain extent. All respectable wizards wear diapers, after all.
Listen, that's my favorite version of Draco, honestly. It's my favorite.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, so Shane, that being Shane Top from Smosh, I imagine, did once say that Angela is the closest person he knows to Mr. Bean. Oh, so the Rowan Atkinson thing makes sense. Perfect. All right. A banger. Well, that's unfortunate phrasing for this song, but I will. Apparently, Abby agrees. They said they might do Nightmare Time 3, but it'll be filmed like Working Boys. Okay. To be also, since Working Boys has come out, so it's the first I think recording we're doing since Working Boys aired, maybe one before this. Yeah, I personally I have not checked that one out yet, so I was just going to pose this to all of you actually, and you in the comments in the.
I mean, you could put out a poll on the Good Butter Bunch community post as well.
I haven't said what the poll is yet. So what I was what I'm thinking is, because up until now, obviously the Hatchetfield conclusion, the big grand finale to aim for with Nightmare Time and the two other musicals would be Nutty Brews Must Die. And that to me felt like an epic conclusion. Then Working Boys came out and I was thinking like, should we do that one first?
Yeah, I definitely think we should end with Nerdy Prudes Must Die.
I don't.
Apparently Des also agrees with BB here. Okay, so Knights have written Nightmare Time 3. Okay, well that's a good one. Yeah, they're focused on other.
Well, hold on. It's just to be crazy here. If you guys can give us timestamps for the times they read the things, could we just react to the bits of Nightmare Time 3 that are out?
I actually, yeah, I can always edit those if the timestamps are there. But anyway, yeah. So that's the so we'd have to decide right now. But yeah, okay. So it's character overlap and introduced in Nutty Brews Must Die first. Okay, so yeah, then maybe, because obviously I don't know what kind of conclusion Working Boys is now versus Nutty Brews Must Die, which I've seen 3 separate times, so I know what we're in for. It's that kind of thing. Maybe I should just check out Working Boys first and make it not a blind reaction. It depends. Another thing to consider. Comments, please, if you're watching the VOD.
Either played shy or even coy, and they told everyone they sat on the beach. They met real cute. Sally removed her
That looks like 2 hands on the same person.
with a dress from on top of her suit. The boy leaned in, but Sally crooned.
Let me just see if I can replicate. Yeah, like that does feel like it's someone grabbing their own hands. The COVID years.
Abby, reveal these timestamps that everyone is talking about, okay?
Reveal your secrets.
Give us the opening.
Oh wait, no,
scene,
sorry. I'm going to say, reveal your secrets. 10 points from Gryffindor. There we go. I forgot. Wrong Snape. Anyway.
Virginity rocks, just tuck it away. Never touch anyone, not even your face.
I will
Not
say,
even your face, dang.
I think maybe like not even your bay. But also unfortunate timing for the chorus. Because this is an issue I've run into with songs in the past, particularly the Aphmau parodies when I used to do like a one continuous thing like across the entire journey. Which could sometimes be 6 seasons worth of content compressed into like 3 stanzas. Yeah, the problem is like, how do you get that information in while also keeping to the rhyme scheme while also not glossing over certain things? And in this case, what happened was, we got to the point where, was it Sally or whatever it was, removed like the buttons of a sequin dress or whatever, they're about to lean in or something like that, and then suddenly Virginity rocks. Well, it's kind of an awkward cut to the chorus in here, but that's because they ran out of space. Now, I guess in the second stanza, we're going to get to the reasons why, in their view, this was not the way to go.
This exact frame, he looks like the pastor guy from Young Sheldon.
Okay, new meme image, please. Chat, go for it. I'll leave it on for a few more seconds. I don't know what the
Yeah,
meme's gonna be, but
he looks like Jeff Dipper. It's great.
Skipping to virginity can't be like.
when they say you run like a girl, I don't know, something. Okay, that's enough.
What?
Okay, that's a nice edit at the very least. POV anime girls running. Yeah, because anime boys running is this. Anyway. Last was called a pit stop in Hatfield. The timestamps are in the comments. Ah, okay, all right, fair enough. You know, there's also a feature called called chapters on YouTube videos. I've used it for our what ifs on this channel quite a few times. But yeah, that's another thing to consider. If they had the timestamps, then Starkid themselves could, in theory, put them in the description in case anyone wants to find a specific point. Anyway. Hey Melissa, full nightmare time episode during the Brews must live stream starting. Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna probably forget this exact timestamp, so if you could put that in like the comments of this video, then we can refer back to it. Yeah.
I'm making notes of this in the Butter Bunch group chat as we speak.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Then I guess you don't have to comment. Never mind.
No, please give us the good algorithm stuff. We need it.
That was also part of my tactic there. I will say, for an abstinence camp, they've choreographed this pretty well. And also, depending on whether or not this is filmed in one setting, it probably is. But then, but we don't know because obviously, COVID rules.
Everyone.
Okay, so that was only on that was on both sides because I guess both everyone was on one side of the screen, so it would have been too much to put it on the left ear constantly. Okay, I guess that might have been trying to compensate for the camera, maybe. I don't know. Because have to go so hard in this song. Yeah, I mean, when you normally think of purity music, or I guess let's face it, Christian music as a whole, you normally don't think of this kind of value. This is the problem when a musical theater troupe that have been making musicals together for over a decade at this point decides to do a thing like, hey, let's do a song that's supposed to be bad. It's like, oh wait, that's not in our nature anymore. Everything we make has to be good.
Yeah, no, it's the I think the only religious song I've ever heard that I've really gone down with was Creature by Half Alive, I think. Yeah, Half Alive.
Okay. I might check that out.
You wanna date me? There's a catch. And only one, keep your hands above the waist.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, okay, but
okay.
to be fair, there are things to grab that are above the waist.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, girl. I'm just saying there are things to grab above the waist. I don't.
Well, so I'm gonna guess that the next line is something to the effect of, "I want to remain nice and chaste," something like that.
And if you're so lucky, you might just get to first base.
Never mind. Okay.
And you have died along the way. They say
This is a historic occasion, by the way. For the first time in a millennia, Jacob's powers have failed him.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the fact that we have two Starkid members on screen that weren't quarantined together. But yeah, that too, yes.
Oh my god! Oh, you what? Oh, ooh, I like the effect.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great effect.
Yeah. Honestly, you know what? I want.
Oh,
I want
this
to,
reminds me of In
attempt
Space
something like this at some
Markiplier.
point. I can see why. But
There was-
also the harmonies. Again, Starkid always knocks out the park with the harmonies. Oh no, my battery's running low.
The way you said that is the way that Willy Wonka tries to warn the kids in the first movie. No, stop, wait.
Oh, come back.
Oh no! Don't do that. That's bad.
Virginity rocks. I'm so
It's weird.
dedicated.
We watched that and the Johnny Depp version recently in class, and everyone was back here telling me how the Johnny, because I haven't seen the second one. Everyone was like talking about the Johnny Depp version is so much creepier and everything. I'm like, now I've seen both, I gotta tell you, it's not correct. The first one was so much more disturbing to me. I also liked the first one significantly more, partially because of that reason. But you know,
Okay, I think the difference is this is the well, like, I guess it'll be might be the Tim Burton version, but yeah, the Johnny Depp version. That one is probably more consistently creepy, not to the same level in bursts, like for example the tunnel scene in the Gene Wilder one.
Sure, yeah.
But like overall, like the general atmosphere, it kind of gives off more creepiness.
I
consistently,
don't know.
but not to to a smaller level. It's more like, you know, it's microdoses.
Right, like the Johnny Depp version never got me, like at all, at any point. The Gene Wilder version, and maybe it is because it was in such smaller doses, so it took me off guard.
Yeah.
But that one really unnerved me at certain points, and I loved it.
I think that's what it is. When you have no friends, you have to play every character in a game. Me trying to make Minecraft roleplays in 2016. Yeah, like my as much as we complain sometimes about like scheduling conflicts that we have nowadays, you know, at least we're all around occasionally. Back in the day, it's like, hey, can someone help me with this series I want to start? It's like, yeah, no. Okay, I guess I will play everyone.
Hey, you guys wanna start this series? Sure. Okay, I think it'd be really cool if we built this. Cool. You have fun with that.
Yeah. I got very excited filming Tertius Hazelwick both times, that they both original and the remake, because in both those versions I had two whole people able to collab with.
Ooh,
Yeah.
2 whole people.
How fancy.
That was the standard. The Mutant Girl really did change everything for me.
Not enough to change the way that whatchamacallit, the other Minecraft series spin-off of Tertius. No.
Nicanor?
Series. Yeah. Which is a spin-off, just not of Tertius Hazelwick.
Yeah, spin-off of Common Idea Club. Yeah. So yeah. Well, I mean, that one actually, you know, it did change in some places, because we had, well, I mean, we had certain cinematic scenes, and I think at one point actually those did feature, you know, two people at once.
I was an episode, and I think BB was an episode too, I think.
Oh yeah, no, that was her debut. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize, you know, some people just, but both BB and Caroline didn't debut in the musical. They debuted in both in.
Can we? I'd love it if we stopped bringing this up.
You're the one who brought up Sir Nicanorth, okay?
I didn't mean to bring up that I was in it, though. That's not a good performance from me, Jacob.
Hey, everybody, go on Jacob Butter's channel and look up Sir Nicanorth. Okay, I forget which episode.
Oh, you'd be lucky if they could find me.
It was episode 5.
Go to episode 5 of Sir Nicanorth on Jacob Butter's channel, and make sure you watch BB's debut.
You two suck. You are awful.
Oh my goodness.
At least it's not as bad as my performance. Ayo.
Oh my goodness. Which performance do you think is worse? The episode 5 of Sir Nicanorth, or episode 8 part 2 of The Mutant Girl?
I don't like either, but Sir Nicanorth, easy.
Okay, fair enough then.
Like, you can barely hear me.
Well, okay, so that's more of a technical side. That's not like on your performance. That's because that was still the era when DJ Cyrus was doing like all of the audio stuff for the Mutant Girl, but not for any of the other shows.
Yeah,
so,
but
you know.
Yeah, but because you can barely hear me, I sound so much. I sound so emotionless.
I gotta remaster that scene, the audio for that series.
Yeah, just do the whole thing, the exact same. In fact, re-upload it, except mute that one segment and just let me redub over it. Call it the remake.
Uh-huh.
Feel that urge inside you to sexually procreate.
Oh.
But let the spirit inside convince you it's best to lay in wait. You're gonna be a
Okay, that one you can see the editing for, you know, the way they splice that together. Versus the other shot, which I think they just filmed them
Also,
in very separate
Jacob.
locations.
Also,
instead of
Jacob.
repeating them.
I got a question.
Yeah.
This is technically unrelated. Is there a way you know how to do the hallway, the Scooby-Doo hallway chase gag? You know, where like there's
yes.
doors. Okay, because I was thinking about doing a Fallen Angel Scooby-Doo parody at one point, and I want to recreate a shot like that and have like a parody shot like that at one point.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So I was just asking if you knew how to do that because I would want your help trying to construct that eventually. I have no idea what to do with that.
Well, yeah. I mean, actually, in something like Gacha, is actually way easier than something like Minecraft, for example.
Really?
And it's simple enough in Minecraft, but in Gacha, it's even easier.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe another day I would like to call and you maybe talk about how that would even be possible because I would like to know because I would love to do that one day. Scooby-Doo parody of Fallen Angel is happening one day. Or
All
Fallen
right.
Angel Scooby-Doo parody thing, you know.
Okay.
Oh,
hesitated for a second. My good, could you see how pink he was going? That was probably like take 10 or something like that, and he was already just so tired of it. Okay, my favorite harmony so far, John Madison in the lower register, because we don't normally get like so many lower harmonies, but there's not noticeable ones in Starkid songs.
The song ends. The campers cheer.
Okay.
Steph's
All right, there we go. Yeah. Potentially, yeah. Definitely new second favorite there. Potentially new favorite. Depends. I have to go back and listen to the Honey Queen one again.
flesh crawls.
All right.
And of course, the piano still pimps in.
Hey to the men.
And women.
That's right. We're a progressive ministry. We believe both boys and girls.
Oh, something happened. An unexpected error happened during local video playback. Apparently, it didn't like the messages. This is very, very clearly censorship of some kind.
Yeah, it's given us a lot of unexpected errors lately. I'm beginning to think we should expect them.
Okay, I'm gonna try and play the same video again. If it fails in the exact same spot, kind of like a broken CD, I guess, then I will re-download it. This also means I have to go through Perky's. Oh, I know we don't actually, because I'm with a rough timestamp somewhere about yeah. Here we go.
Man, what a frame.
I'm Jerry with a double R-Y, and this is Jerry with a single R-I. And don't worry if that's too complicated for you. You can just call me Boy Jerry.
And I'm Girl Jerry.
And we're here to
Why'd that get a cheer?
with play, purpose, and prayer.
Wow. Cause who needs sex to have fun?
Not me.
I mean, that is objectively true, but not for the reasons they're trying to promote here.
We're both voluntarily celibate.
Woo woo.
Yes, the Cell group, very popular.
I'll take canoes over condoms any day.
Oh, come on, you could have said canoes over canoodling. It was right there, Boy Jerry. Step your game up.
In fact, we have some counselors coming through the aisle with pamphlets about the dangers of contraception. I think it's important that everyone give those a read.
Seriously,
Chapter 1, Latex Allergies.
guys, this information could save your life.
You said it, Girl Jerry. All right, boys, to the blue cabins with me.
And I'll show the girls to the pink buns.
The pink buns. Okay.
The next morning, a bugle blasts the wake-up call. Grace happily hops from bed, fully dressed and raring to go.
See what I mean as far as like Angela's smiles go? All wide, all long, except but all very different to each other.
Steph groans, pulling her pillow over her head. The campers are shuffled off to their various activities: swimming, archery, the rope course. In the arts and crafts pavilion, Boy Jerry and Girl Jerry stand by a table of pre-packaged wallet-making kits and metal stamps.
All right, listen up,
Interesting.
campers. First, you pick a strip of leather. Then, you choose your design, grab a mallet, and head on over to the beading table. You whack it for a while, stitch it up, and you end up with one of these.
He holds up a completed wallet.
I tell you kids, nothing gets out that pent-up frustration like making a wallet. Why, this is the very same technique that ye old settlers used to make their wallets.
Really?
I'm very impressed that he resisted the urge to make a joke of like, oh, nothing gets out that pent up frustration, more like beating something. But you know, fair enough. I guess this is a camp about restraint.
With these cheap kids from Hobby Lobby?
The other campers turn to glare at Steph.
Huh. You got a bit of an attitude. Don't you, Miss... Water?
I've been told.
Why don't you step into my office?
The Jerrys lead Steph outside.
All right, and
Oh,
here's
but
where we
both
get
of
to
them? Are there other campers supervising the other children? Do they both need to be here for this?
Yeah, here's where we get the trope of the really cool, nice guy, and then you walk into the office alone, and now he's like an evil mastermind.
Uh huh. We don't take kindly to people talking back to us.
Fresh air and a warm breeze. That's all the AC I need. So, Stephanie Lauder, the mayor's kid. I heard about you. Little Miss Bun in the oven.
Good old Grace, of course.
Teen pregnancy is no joke, Steph. If you don't start taking this work seriously, you're gonna end up with a child before you're ready. You're gonna have to drop out of school. Your family will disown you. Where are you gonna raise
That sounds like she speaks from experience.
that baby? In the woods? We just want to help you.
Hey.
Is Girl Jerry the Axeman's mother, and that's why it's a woodland creature?
It's okay, Girl Jerry.
He puts a hand on Girl Jerry's shoulder. She falls into his arms.
I got you, Girl Jerry.
Hold me, boy, Jerry.
I will, Girl Jerry.
They cling to each other. Boy Jerry runs a hand down.
I like how they describe their names, and then they say, and you can call us Boy or Girl Jerry, and then in their own private time, they still call each other Boy and Girl Jerry instead of just Jerry. I feel like someone might have forgotten that detail in the script.
I don't think they did. I think that was kept in very deliberately. And yes, I too love Kim's performance so much, but I definitely think she gave birth to an Axeman.
Speaking of Kim, it looks like she's not doing abstinence right now.
Well, no. Did you hear the way she said, "Hold me, boy, Jerry"?
Yeah.
He sniffs her hair.
God, you smell amazing.
Oh yeah, no, this is totally on purpose. Actually,
Steph
never
watches
mind.
them awkwardly.
Not the
Boy
name
Jerry
thing, but
rounds
like
up.
the clear sex references right now.
Yep.
What you did? You upset Girl Jerry. I ought to cover you in syrup. Go make a wallet.
Why is covering in syrup a punishment for that they decided on?
Well, because bears out there.
Okay.
Later,
So
counselor
basically,
leads
cover you in
hikers
syrup so you
down
can
a
just get
forested
mauled.
path, chanting,
I don't know what I've been told. I don't know what I've been told.
There's
Abstinence
Jeff
is
Flynn.
for the bold. Abstinence is for the bold.
The counselor yells to one of the campers lagging behind.
Keep up, Spankovsky.
I can't. My blood sugar. These raisins suck.
Power through it. Sound off. 1,
I am surprised that, you know, whoever filled in like the details for for Peter's admission to this camp didn't didn't like you know, submit like his actual medical history. They kind of need to do that in a lot of places.
Sound off. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Pete falls to his knees, gasping for air, while the other kids walk past. The last hiker in line
This is more like asthma than blood sugar, but I'm no doctor.
stops next to Pete. She looks around to make sure no one's watching, then removes a chocolate bar from her pocket, offering it to him.
How did she get away with that?
Here. Contraband.
She might have had
He
in
looks
her
up
in her bra.
Maybe.
Stephanie Lauder and freezes.
I'm.
He blushes. Gulps.
A part of me doubts what I'm about to say just because it's abstinence camp, but maybe they aren't gonna stoop as low as sexual harassment.
Well, we did see their security process, and it only went as far as checking people's bags. So yeah, that pretty much they do not do that.
And takes the bar gratefully.
I know. I don't think. I know. Okay, so Ted wouldn't care enough, but I'm not sure if Ted himself is the one who filled in the details or didn't in this case. Like, I imagine that. Like, I don't know if Ted is Peter's full-time guardian or not. That's not clear to me yet. But you know, because it kind of seems like this is not the place that he would bring the Peter on purpose unless he was wanting to be exceptionally cruel, which is also in character for Ted. So maybe that's the case. I don't really know. I'm not sure they would have cared. Yeah, we don't know what Ted's parents are like, so yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, if anything, he came prepared. Like, you know, Peter came prepared with chocolate for himself, but yeah.
Thanks.
Transitions.
Sneak this in here.
I had it back
Oh, you should have had it be a sneakers. How do you sneak this in?
to my underwear, and the guy never checked.
Okay, not. Well,
You know,
actually, I guess they
Bras
could
are full
still.
of underwear. You wear it under things.
Right, like I was about to say, I would in my head I consider bra separate from underwear, but I do acknowledge that they're in like
She
the
just
same
said bra.
category.
She just said bra right now.
Oh, okay.
Captain Boyle's. That's what it said in the abstinence pamphlet.
Did it? I wiped my ass with mine. It's more hygienic than the teepee in the outhouse.
Okay, okay, interesting, because in Nerdy Prudes, Peter makes a point of the fact that he is unintentionally funny. In this one, he seems to be making very clear quips and jokes. So I guess, you know, again, different timeline, I suppose.
I figured it was all
Alternate reality.
Yeah, and this one he got good socialization.
Well, compared to his other self, yes. When you see a child please suffering, just pays down to walk it off. Well, I mean, they are quite literally on like a group march at this point. So yes, literally walk it off.
This feels like abuse, dude. This is abstinence camp. I compared
What
it to
do you
conversion
think
therapy earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is abuse.
All we know is Mr. Spankowski sells women's shoes. Now I just have an image of Peter going around in like high heels doing this, like, I don't know what I've been told.
I was a bad girl. I did some bad things.
I was a bad boy. I did some bad things. Oh God, my shoes. My blood sugar.
Oh no, I'm dying.
I mean, honestly, I feel like that the karma by quote unquote Jojo Siwa would be the last song they would sing in this place. You know what? They took all their phones away just so they would not watch the Karma music video.
Karma.
Gotta love bad emo phase Jojo Siwa.
Certainly, yes, or edgy Jojo Siwa, she calls herself. But anyway,
Yeah, you know.
You were in school, right?
Once your
Rocking that
reputation
bow
is
tie?
just ableist singer that started out as child star, you know, at that point
there's
you have to
nowhere to
start
go but up.
wondering.
So
Yeah, it's like at that point you have to wonder, okay, what's the next business change here? Oh my god.
Because she was a bad girl. She did some bad
yes,
things.
yes, exactly.
It's very similar. I say that it's not not for the same context, but it's very similar in the sense of what Taylor did whenever she did the whole like different eras, but like all the different versions of Taylor's.
Well, yeah, because she's gone through enough eras to justify that. JoJo kind of like was in like Arrested Development for some time.
Well,
so
yeah, but
everybody
the
has
reason
like everybody has like 2 to 3 eras to fall back on right now. So
yeah, but the reason that started was mainly because Taylor had such a bad reputation in general at that point, and so she had been like, in fact, I think that's kind of like the opening statement of that one song, right? The one where it starts out with her as like Zombie Taylor or whatever.
is that I'm trying to think, is that Look What You Made Me Do? I think
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Where it was basically like a middle finger to the people that were supposedly disrespecting her.
Probably Bart Baker mostly.
With it. I can't grow a mustache.
I love his.
yet,
I
so-
love his parodies in general. The Taylor Swift stuff. I find them funny.
I mean, oh yeah, I had like a bit of a Bart Baker phase in like 2017, 2018. So yeah, a lot of the stuff. I will say, quite a few of the parodies were somewhat lackluster in their writing and composition. The production value never faltered, but yeah. But then some other ones, I'm like, oh yeah, you know what, this one, pretty much so. I mean, sometimes I'll like go back to particularly the Animals one for some reason. Don't know why that one specifically, but yeah.
Best thing.
I heard a rumor about you. You're the kid who whacked off during the meme test.
Okay, that was not the rumor in Nutty Prude, so again, different timeline.
That reminds me, amazingly, I know this is one that no one would expect, but I do have an anecdote for this one. So,
Why you
we
did
had-
that?
Oh,
no,
dear
I did
Lord.
not. No, I did not.
I imagine that someone else did. I did not think it was you specifically.
Well, Aidan clearly did.
What?
But
well, not
so-
really, but like I was like, dang,
so-
are you gonna do a confession?
So we had this one kid, I guess for context, he had a mental disability. He had a lot of different public tantrums. He was generally disruptive to class, a little bit violent. He had gone to boarding school for a while, and then he came back. Not much changed. It should also be noted that this doesn't excuse of anything. He was also transphobic, homophobic, and racist.
Oh, yeah.
So still a bad person.
What
So
exactly is he
don't
supposed to be
take any
excused
like
of with that context.
so don't take any like I just want to characterize him first, right? He's not like a good person, you know. He did frequently use his disability as an excuse.
Oh, again, sounds like that person I referenced earlier.
Now I get what you're referencing. Anyways, one day, now this is his thing. He always had his computer with him at all times. Headphones, computer, never dropped it, never looked away, not for a second. And if you dare take away his computer, dear God, hell was gonna rain down on you that day. One day, walking around in PE, of course, holding his computer the whole time through. I imagine it must have been deeply uncomfortable. He had been watching a little something, and by next period, a new rumor started. One that happened to be true.
Oh no.
Of the fat disabled kid masturbating in the middle of class underneath his desk by watching porn on his computer as well.
Oh, fun.
I have heard some teacher horror stories of that happening with kids. Never when they're watching other videos with their own devices. That is the new version of that. But
Well, it's not his own device. That's the crazy thing. This was the school's computer.
Oh, God.
Meaning they could open it up and see what he was watching.
Oh no.
and schools normally have like a network that restricts that stuff anyway.
Yup. I guess they didn't have that blocked at the time for some reason. Because he was
I
watching it.
I bet they do now. I bet they
I'm
do now.
sure, but I've never tried because I don't want to get flagged. And if I'm gonna get flagged for
Yeah, no.
anything, and I have technically been flagged for a few things before, but nothing like that. And if I'm ever going to get flagged, I don't want to be known as the kid who got flagged for watching porn.com on her school computer in the middle of economy class. All right.
No, there's already a kid with that reputation. You know, you don't need to step on his toes.
Yeah.
But yeah, my school had a flagging system too, but it was I think it might have also been for specific sites, but again, no one that I knew ever tried, at least not around me anyway. People probably
They
thought
knew you would say something, probably.
yeah, people probably thought I was more like the Grace Chastity than I actually was. I just kind of gave off, as you know, I was sort of like gave off the energy of like Nerdy Prudes Peter and Grace, but like a bit of like a combination with some aspects. Anyway, minus the religion. Then but yeah, like one thing that got flagged was swear words. So which you know, I'm not even sure how they program that, honestly. That's more impressive to me than it probably should be. But yeah, so
I imagine
that was
it's not
something
very hard personally, but you know.
that was something to keep in mind. Problem is sometimes accidents happen. So at one point in physics class, we were learning about the particular phenomenon of I think it was like how of the universe expansion and how like light waves are sort of like, you know, also expanding themselves. I think because of the way that it was like geared towards like the visual light spectrum, it was called redshift. So of course on the screen, you know, on the PowerPoint presentation, our teacher had the words, you know, redshift and blue shift, you know, to describe the different things, and it was the 2 paragraphs. Problem is, redshift was misspelt.
Yep.
Wait, wait.
So
Yeah.
I heard that he got like flagged for that. We did point it out to him in the lesson because at one point he asked why half the class was giggling.
Wait, which one was it? Was it the red one or was it the blue one that had the
It was the red
misspelling?
one that had the misspelling. Yeah.
Ha! Oh my god! If it is red, though, please go to the nurse or doctor. You need immediate medical attention.
Dare I say,
if
I
it's
think
coming
it's
out red. If it's
the
coming out
blue one, I
red.
think you should be more concerned, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
At least the body naturally produces red stuff monthly on certain occasions. It doesn't do that for blue, Aiden.
Nah, it totally does. Totally.
Arg, I be blue-blooded.
I know the reputation water has, but even pee's not blue.
Water isn't blue.
Water is clear.
Exactly.
All right,
Anyway.
if you are leaking anything blue, something is deeply wrong.
Something is medically wrong. Please go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, this is wait a second. This is the origin of Grace Chastity. No, actually, Grace Chastity appeared briefly in Perky's Buds right before this, but this is the first time she's had, I guess, a major role because she was only in one scene before that. What it really is the debut of this character, Peter Spankowski.
I went to the bathroom to cool off. It was an important exam.
Oh my goodness, you're right, Aidan. Sing the opening number, Moana.
Wow.
Yes.
Besides, if they didn't want to turn kids
It's
on,
the
they shouldn't make
apotheosis.
those story problems so suggestive.
I'll say, Bon, he could be alien musical people, or Aiden could be an android from Detroit Become Human with the blue blood.
Maybe I could be pooping out like the blue milk from Star Wars.
I hate that.
They drink that.
Oh, they
Yeah.
do?
Dang.
Yes.
That's
Crazy.
kind of
milk.
why it became so famous for a while, actually. Yes.
Wait, so you're not supposed to shove it in your butt?
No, it comes out.
No.
Nope.
There's literally a bad lip reading song featuring this, you know. My aunt and uncle double sons and sipping blue milk. My aunt and uncle double sons, I'm sick of blue milk. Anyway.
Yep.
That's
And then this-
but before Bart Baker, my phase was bad lip reading. And that one I have gone back to far more extensively than Bart Baker.
Then you have the scene that infamously made everyone aware of the existence of this drink in the Star Wars universe, which is when Luke milks a bantha on a screen in The Last Jedi in like one of his first scenes.
I mean, people were aware of blue milk before,
Not
right?
that
I mean,
widely.
Okay.
Not before watching him milk a bantha.
All right.
What was it? Something about Cindy's melons?
Stacy's melons.
Well, they're not actual.
They're talking about literal melons, not metaphorical melons.
Well, yeah, that's. He's saying why make things so suggestive, and that's what they're. Yeah.
Well,
Bet you did.
It said, Stacy has 2 plump melons. Each one is perfectly spherical with a diameter of 20 centimeters.
Stacy's stacked.
Jessica walks in with a big pair of jugs. If she squeezes Stacy's melons with a force of 10 grams per
Oh,
squeeze
okay,
centimeter-
I can kind of see how suggestive this is. God, what?
There
That
we
is actually
go.
pretty suggestive. God.
Mm-hmm.
How
I didn't
long
think-
will it take before Jessica's jugs are full and ready to put to your lips?
What? Who wrote
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Who
he did
wrote
write
that? Why would you write that?
Did Ted become like an exam question writer or something?
Know what they were doing.
Those sick bastards.
Also, yeah, no, even looking at facial expressions, it's so clear that he knows what he's doing in this scene.
Well, he didn't write the question.
No, but he's like, even whenever he says like those sick bastards and makes that smile, like it's clear that he's like having a jab at all this.
Well, of course, yeah. He's not. I won't be happy about it.
So I guess you.
By the way, also while they're having this conversation, the rest of the campers have just like marched away, something, because no one's calling for them right now.
He never knew what he was being told, anyways.
Yeah,
True.
sucks.
just like we were supposed to do with the jugs and the melons and something. I don't know.
Apparently, yeah.
Whatever the prompt was, I forget.
Yeah, we didn't quite hear the whole thing because we were kind of talking over it.
Or may not have happened in the bathroom should stay in the bathroom.
Which is also, I guess, kind of how we opened with Steph vomiting and being presumed pregnant by a non-sarcastic detecting Grace Chastity. So, in a sense, that's something that unites them both in this version. Rumors about them that started in bathrooms.
Can we agree on that?
Yeah. Well, I should catch up.
You should both catch up. Don't just leave him here.
Don't let anyone find you.
Well, I mean, you guys are alone, so if you want to go against the camp, I know how.
They just, well, they didn't just meet. They kind of know each other from school, but not very well. They're not exactly close at this point, so I don't think, for now at least, anything's going to happen.
Listen, the kind of people who run this camp are the reason that sometimes that I don't care. They're annoying.
Maybe they're like alumni as well. They graduated but then came back to run the thing.
As is a theme quite frequently in good old slasher movies.
I have also seen that. I think there's like this one movie that is about a gay conversion camp where it turns out that one of the staff members is very obviously gay. And I think they end up converting him back at some point, sort of making him realize. Like nothing happens between them and like the campers, but you know.
Rules were made to be broken.
Oh my!
You're not such a nerd, are you?
I guess you might not deserve to die. These nerdy fruits must die.
She's not the one who decides who thinks that.
I don't know where that
To
comes
be fair,
from.
he might not deserve to die in either. He might have just been caught in the storm.
Well, he's not a prude.
Well, apparently not. Yeah.
He's very much not a prude.
Hey, you'll see some seriously nerdy shit.
See you around, Spakovsky.
Night falls. Moonlight.
and Peter Spankowski finally finishes the march at his own leisurely pace. Everyone thought that he was dead.
Creeps through the trees.
like, oh man, you're alive.
Fire crackles. Around it, campers
Also, I love these transitions from Nick Lang to Nick Lang.
gather, swapping ghost stories. One of them, Gabe, grins with fiendish delight as he begins his tale of terror.
Now I know Abstinence Camp may seem like the best place on Earth. But
It
there's a
doesn't.
dark
It
secret.
doesn't.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. It seems horrible. Horrid.
Yeah. Also, has Jeff Blim just like got up like a campfire screen? So that's why we see like a hint of orange to the side.
The heart of I don't want to bang. Something lurking out in those woods. Or should I say, someone.
Come on, Gabe. Not this story again. You're gonna scare the new kids.
They should.
That's the point. That's
They
the point of a
should.
camp.
That's
That's
the
the point of a
point of
campfire story.
abstinence camp, to scare them to not having sex.
Okay, well, yes.
That's
I mean,
literally the point.
okay,
the
yes,
point
but I
of the
mean, like the
mask.
point of campfire stories most of the time is to be scary. In fact, we've made a whole thing about that in Running With You.
Yeah.
There's a reason you gotta abstain around these parts.
You don't need a reason. Virginity just rocks.
I know that. And you know that.
Oh my
But some people need a little extra motivation.
What, not being murdered? Wow. This seems kind of...
That is some good motivation.
Yeah, but like...
to be perfectly honest, Aidan.
Yeah,
if it's,
but like...
if it's between being abstinent and being murdered, I mean, just saying.
Hey man, if you watch Willy's Wonderland, that's not such a great threat.
Oh, okay, yeah, actually. Wrestling Hunter's Camp has been taken down for child neglect. Hey, boy, Jerry Godger, I've got a song for you. I don't know what you've been told, but this camp has got to go. I appreciate the fact that you got the meter rights. Thank you.
Let's make examples out of it. Like Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what he saw when he looked down on Hatchetfield. A den of sin. A city full of adulterers and fornicators.
I mean, this is the city of the sillies, so...
Yeah.
The sillies made the axe murderer. That's my headcanon. If it doesn't get explained,
My
the Sillies made him.
headcanon is that girl Jerry just abandoned her woodland child in order to try and rejoin society and pretend that she was abstinent the whole time, and that's why she
Okay.
was so traumatized earlier.
Okay, you keep saying this, but that genuinely would be a fun callback to Friday the 13th. Because the whole first movie, remember, the first movie barely includes Jason. Everyone thinks of it as Jason. No, it was his mom's movie. And she was out as a killer because her son, Jason, had been drowned. And then he came back as a zombie.
Yeah, so... I mean, if girl Jerry ends up going on a rampage, then yes.
From across the fire pit. The rest of the kids, however, are not amused, especially Gabe.
You won't be laughing when he comes for you, Pete. See? God sent him to punish the wicked with his feet like thunder and his axe oh so sharp.
Ah, that's why the footsteps are so loud.
These woods belong to him. And there's one thing
Speaking of your references of the Sillies creating him, he
The
did just reference
woods
God.
belong to him.
Well, okay, to be fair, they don't know about the sillies, canonically.
Or do they?
Not everyone does. Some people in Hatchetfield do, but this character probably doesn't.
Perversion. Kissing.
It's like in the Butterverse being like, oh, a character referenced God once, but Greek mythology is canon in the Butterverse. That makes us just like, yeah, they don't know about the Greek gods being canon. Like, what? Of course,
Yeah.
of course they're not referencing the Greek gods because they don't know they're canon.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't know, why would they reference them in the first place?
Well, okay. Some of the characters reference them and don't necessarily know for a fact. They just reference them in the way that any other religion would be referenced.
Well, yeah, because some of the characters are nerds, and that was kind of one of the deliberate ideas behind this.
Premarital sex.
Stop, Gabe. I'm scared.
He is the thing that will not die. The Mad Woodsman. Lumberax.
Really? Lumberax? That's the best I could come up with.
I would say the chastity enforcer.
I know a dozen people who swear on the cross they seen him. And if
I prefer
that's not
Chumby,
enough for you,
honestly.
How do you explain the 5 kids have gone missing at this very camp?
5.
Look it up if you don't believe me.
We can't. No phones.
How convenient for you. They took our phones.
There we go.
Well, then it looks like you're gonna have a little faith.
I don't
Once
believe
in
you.
your life.
Until the camp is over, and then I can get my phone back and look it up myself.
If you don't, and you give in to those carnal urges, he'll know. He'll hear it from his work shed. And when you feel the hair stand on the back of your
How good's his hearing?
neck, don't turn around, or you'll come face to face with lumberjacks.
A figure leaps from the shadows. It's Mary's friend, Noah, accenting the final jump scare of Dave's story.
Wow.
With Mary now in
Anyways,
tears.
I gotta go for like 30 minutes.
And we will never see him for the rest
Yeah,
of the
okay,
stream.
see you.
You will
Bye.
see
Bye
me,
for the rest of the
bye.
stream.
Yeah, see you,
alright.
Aiden. Have a good day.
Subscribe to his channel, everyone. He's not coming back.
Grace shakes her head.
We all know he's not doing it. Come on.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, it is currently 11:58. So at 12:28 for me, that's when he should be back.
certainly not
Sure.
scary.
Set
No
a timer.
mask, no axe?
Hmm.
What is that, a canoe paddle?
Well, I didn't want to frighten you too badly.
Well, you failed!
Mary gets up and
It could have been way worse.
runs from the fire. Noah runs after her.
Mary, wait, I'm sorry.
These are gonna have these two are gonna start. They start making up, and then they'll start making out, and then they'll be first victims of lumberjacks.
God, I hate these nerdy prudes.
Later,
Okay, Aidan was on
the
something in this
campers have
version.
gone to bed. Grace
And the other one
pours a
doesn't say
bucket of
it.
water into the fire pit, reciting.
Drown, stir, then drown again.
Dave watches her extinguish the last.
Much
Okay.
like the origin story of Jason Voorhees.
Okay, here's another reason why I think people love Grace Chastity. It's because half of her lines are gold. That's the thing. You know, you make like a character despicable in nature, but also have their lines be super funny at the same time. She is you know what? Forget Snape. Forget Draco Malfoy. She's the Joker.
Oh God.
You're really good at that, Grace.
No thanks to Smokey the Bear.
See, but Joker's
That
fun
lucky shirt
because he has a lot of like thought built into literally all of his actions.
Yes, but he's also supposed to be, he also does very despicable things, mainly
does.
for his own entertainment.
This is fair, yeah.
Yeah.
It's designed by liberals to tempt kids into bestiality. That's what my mom says.
Mine too.
She's okay.
You know,
Sure.
I never thought I'd meet a girl as cool as my mom. But then I met you, Grace.
Oh,
I don't know how to say this, but I just gotta. I like you, Grace.
I like you too, Gabe. You're a great friend.
Yeah, but what if we were more than friends?
Oh no.
Well, we aren't. You're such a good friend. I love you.
I just smile on that guy. I just smile on Grace right now. Grace's smile is worse.
We are. We're pew pals. And
Again, see, it's also the way that she angles her head as well. Because, like, I've seen different ways of, like, Angela's smiles as well. My favorite Angela smile, actually, has got to be in... There's a Trying to Laugh where they do an impression of their younger selves. And so at one point, someone, like, enjoying, like, Angela's bit that she does, someone yells to her, please don't make any noise. Your dad's about to go to call. Don't make any noise, Angela. That was something like that is what she did. Except
Sure.
with, like... and then just went, like... 1, 2, 3, 4. Like with the full-on voice crack and everything.
Oh, that reminds me, man. I still really want to play Hades 2. Because I hear there's like a musical sequence from the Sirens.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
And they
saying
have-
it was like a drum set or something.
No, it is like a drum set.
I'm now picturing the Sirens start of like a really like enticing melodic tune with a bunch of harmonies, that kind of thing. And then one of the Sirens just goes 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, I'm
And they
trying
all
to...
turn and look at her and are like, "What are you doing?"
No, it's the boss fight. I think is specifically titled like Scylla and the Sirens, and it's literally fighting while like while Skilla's playing the drums, and there's like a whole musical sequence, and I'm like, oh man. The first Hades game is really good, by the way.
Oh,
I
no.
played a
Okay,
little bit
I've
of it,
just-
but I never finished it.
I've just thought of another story idea of at some point at some point like there was like this one siren who learned about like different styles of music or something and then decided to but actually like got ostracized and like kicked out of of her like realm in order but then and because of that she roams the earth right now trying to learn different forms of music or something and also trying to suppress her natural siren powers so that she doesn't accidentally maul anyone to their deaths.
Oh, what if it's almost like X-Men-esque, right? Where she has she has the siren powers, but in order to keep herself from just killing everyone, she has to like learn a new art form to like communicate through.
And well, I mean, most of that time she's trying to learn, at least different genres in the same kind of art form. Yeah, I might sit that for a D&D character. You never know if I ever play D&D again.
Sure, yeah.
There's no one I'd rather share my hymnal with. Good night. La, 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 la.
She skips off.
Oh my god, that I don't remember who. It reminds me of some character in Harry Potter though, in the musical. That one noise tickles something in my head, and I don't know what that thing is.
I don't know. Could that have maybe been Ginny potentially?
Maybe. What? In what way? What are you referencing from Ginny?
Probably the way that she's always got like this like bug-eyed smile. The high-pitched voice was obviously like the child of the group as well. And I think at one point might have also been like skipped around singing. I can't remember exactly.
No, I definitely remember like a weird
dragon song, maybe actually.
I definitely remember that noise. I don't know, man. I swear someone made an almost identical noise in the Harry Potter musicals. Oh, and I can't remember what.
I don't know. Could have been Draco actually.
Maybe.
Oh dear. La 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 la. Okay, moving on.
Toward her bunk. Gabe watches her go and drops the
I have to use the
choir
restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Fucking tease! Sending all the signals. How am I supposed to sleep with this chubby? Guess I'll go make a wallet.
In the arts and crafts pavilion, Gabe pounds a design into a strip of leather.
I'm surprised it's still open and there are no adults around with children like wielding mallets.
Frustrated, he tosses the stamp and mallet.
Ah, this isn't working. I feel like I'm gonna pop.
I've changed my guess on the first victim now, but it's too late. It's obvious now.
Fuck it. There's no one around.
With
Are there like security cameras or something in this? I hope not.
lustful mischief in his eyes, he undoes his belt buckle and starts to unzip. The sound echoes through the forest.
That was a very loud zip. Was that like a sound effect on top of this, or was that actually Jeff Bloom being like, I'm going to put a microphone up to my crotch just for this? I could see it either way. Grace only has one man in her life, and his name is Jesus Christ. Yeah. Angela Giorgitanen must be studied. Honestly. For all the right reasons. Yeah, there's of course they can still hear Gabe's heart after a million pieces before reforming as it turns black as midnight. Gabe is the new Axeman. He took his place.
Too faint for normal human ears, but not for his. In a rickety old work shed, deep in the witchwood, a cold, glassy eye bursts open. He can hear the pants
Only one glassy eye burst open.
come undone and drop to the floor. The sound of one hand clapping, it angers him.
I can actually hear it too, and I hate it. Thank you for that.
None of that. Not in his woods. He rises slowly. He stomps through the chains and the animal skins that hang from the rafters.
Yeah, now, because of the eye, I can definitely see this being a puppet now.
He reaches out a massive arm and grabs the axe from the wall. Back in the art building, Gabe
Well, we
closes
won't
his
do that, but
eyes,
yeah.
lost in fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone has the eye twitch. If that first girl Jerry and now Gabe.
Oh, Grace. That's a modest brassiere you're wearing.
Behind him, the
Okay.
door creaks open. He whirls around, covering himself.
Hey!
Oh,
I
they're
got
not
a wallet
nice.
in here!
But no one's there. Gabe reaches down to pull up his trousers.
Grab your mallet quickly. Grab your mallet too.
He apprehensively crosses the darkened cabin toward the open door.
Hello? Noah?
Fun fact, saving valuable time making the Virginia Box shirts they did making the lumber ace puppet. How? Okay. Did you do like all the stitching by hand?
Is that you?
A chill fills the room.
Maybe I had to like replicate the same design. That might make more sense actually.
The summer night turns icy cold, and Gabe can see his breath hang in the air. He shivers.
Oh, it's cold.
Then, clomp, clomp, clomp. A shadowy figure fills the doorframe, silhouetted by moonlight. It's enormous, 8 feet at least. In its hands,
Oh, wow.
a massive, dirty axe.
Can it fit inside the cabin? That's the question.
No way.
Ah, there we go.
Nice costume, Noah. Or is that you, Pete?
It probably is both of them. If it's 8 feet tall, it's got to be at least 2 people on each other's shoulders.
Steph?
The figure lumbers forward. Clomp.
Kill Gabe, kill Gabe. You know, in every horror movie, it's usually the character that you dislike the most, that you want to see be the first victim, that ends up being the first victim. Or if not horror movies, murder mysteries particularly. Because murder mysteries, the victim is often somebody they have to make it somebody who is disliked by a lot of people, so you have a lot of suspects for whatever reason, usually. But yeah, in the case of horror movies, that's persisted too. It's like, oh well, oh no, how scary, a character died, but also we're not too sad because we didn't like them anyway.
Clomp.
Come on, cut it out. It's not funny.
Gabe winces as the mad woodsman raises his weapon.
Please! Put down the axe!
Then, the figure stops. He looks down at Gabe and cocks his head.
I'm not a loser.
Gabe breathes a sigh of relief. Perhaps he's been forgiven. It was just one little slip-up after all. Just some harmless tugging. Slam!
Yep.
The metal wallet stamp comes pounding into Gabe's forehead. No!
I guess it's more subtle, more of, concealed than the axe.
Forgiveness! Not in these woods! Lumberaxe grabs a mallet and hammers the stamp deeper into Gabe's skull. Wham! Wham! Blood sprays. The mad woodsman's justice is served.
Yeah, it does sound like the vomit
Next
from
morning,
earlier,
before
like
the
I thought.
campers arise, girl Jerry cheerfully marches toward the arts and crafts pavilion with an armful of basket weaving materials. She opens the
I do love how the theme came back for this.
door and freezes. The basket kits fall to the floor.
Well, gotta ground my child again.
I'm back. Okay, what'd I miss?
Death.
Okay, because the last thing I heard was, well, I guess it's time to make a wallet.
Yeah. Well, he didn't make a wallet, but he went to the arts and crafts room and was decided that, oh, wait a minute, no one's actually no, he did make a wallet actually. After that, but it's like, nope, this is not gonna work. So might as well. There's no one around. I did just tell this axe story, but I don't believe it myself. Oh no, what's this 8 feet thing on top of me? It's got an axe. No, dun dun dun. To be continued.
Sure. Okay.
Are soaked in sticky gore, and there, on the beating table, is Gabe, skinless. Beside him.
Okay, skinless is a new thing actually that happened during the transition, I guess.
A pile of wallets.
You asked nicely, so let me think about it. Nope.
Bleh.
Sewn from his flesh. Girl Jerry covers her mouth and whispers.
Yeah, there we are.
Later,
She seems less traumatized by that than you know, the idea of Grace getting pregnant too early. Which again says to me, if you speak from experience, you're fine.
Steph hikes down from her cabin and steps into the designated girls' washroom. The curtain to one of the shower stalls slides open, and Grace pops out, wearing a bathing suit.
Yes, I do, guys.
Wait, did you just shower
Is that bathing suit also save virginity? Oh, it's just the shirt again.
in your swimsuit?
Of course. It's camp policy. You don't want to see your own body and start getting crazy ideas.
And this is why we see her bathing routine later. I'm not going to explain that when Aiden's around. He can just wander until we get to Nerdy Broods.
That's, disgusting.
I know. Can you imagine getting handsy with yourself?
But you're talking about two different things here.
We're outside every day, getting sweaty and dirty. If you don't clean yourself, all of yourself, you're gonna get a UTI.
I do actually, weirdly enough, have an idea of this. Not getting a UTI. Again, this is, got to disclose that before I explain the anecdote. So, in Iceland, in showers before going to like lagoons or like thermal baths or like swimming pools or whatever, they actually have signs indicating, you know, where specifically they want you to scrub your body. Particularly, one of those areas is actually the crotch area, and you know, at this point, you know, I actually, you know, Paul the Great Shasti here, I actually was very quick in this matter, and like, you know, like I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna pretend at some point when everyone's like not looking around, and I'm just gonna say that I did this and then like move away. And also I had like another like I also use like a thermal top as well, because I don't like being shirtless anyway. So so what I did for that was, again, you know, minimal time. I think also one of the areas is the chest area. So I was like, okay, there you go, done. It counts. It technically counts. And no one said anything. So
that's how you know Jacob isn't a manly man. He doesn't like getting shirtless at every waking second.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I did make a joke about this in Walking Wednesday about like showing my bulging biceps because it was hot and I had my jacket off. But yeah.
Wait. Are you telling me you're gonna shower without a swimsuit?
Yep.
I mean, I love how she can be.
Oh, okay,
that
wait,
part,
maybe
not
don't
the
tell her
UTI
that if
part.
it's camp rules.
Yeah.
I'm headed straight to hell.
Steph goes for a stall. Grace jumps in her way.
Hey, at least the water's warm probably there.
No, Steph. I can't let you do that. It's this kind of reckless behavior that got you in trouble in the first place.
No.
I mean, you got her in trouble in the first place.
You got me
There
in
you go.
trouble. You're the reason I'm stuck here. See, I'm normal. You're weird. This whole place is weird.
Giving up on showering here, Steph stomps outside. Grace hurries after her.
Oh, look, a lake. Well, nothing bad happens at lakes in campsites.
No, certainly not.
Steph, I know you're just lashing out because you're an addict, jonesing for a big old shot of vitamin D, but I am not giving up on you. We're gonna get through this together. Anywhere you go, I'll follow.
Really?
Steph pushes through the door to the neighboring building. Grace's eyes go wide.
Is this the boys' cabin?
The sign reads, Boys Washroom.
There we go. See, you said my oracle powers are gone.
Boy Jerry! Girl Jerry!
Inside, Steph calls out a warning.
Cover your junk. I'm coming in.
There's one person there. Steph?
Of course, it's only him.
Peter stands in nothing but a towel wrapped around his waist. Steph stops.
That's lucky.
She stares at him. Without his dorky glasses, Steph sees that he's actually kind of cute.
You know, this is really a question for everyone, why is glasses just the universal sign of ugliness in popular media?
Because they generally just represent nerd and know-it-all and tuck shirts and what's
tuck
that?
shirts, everything tuck shirts. But yes, other than that, I see what you. But
no, but they all pair together. They're all the same archetype. Like what's that one character from like that old sitcom that like everyone loved with a very similar character except he had a bit of sass instead. I think he was
that's
also
like the vaguest thing you've said in your entire life. You know that character from that one sitcom. And
he
that
had
other
all of
character?
he had the classic nerd. I would make an argument that he was one of the originators of the nerd archetype. Chat, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, chat. Can you think of that one character from that one sitcom? Let us know.
It's old. It pretty much originated the nerdy archetype.
I mean, it could be Steve Urkel, but I think that was
There
like
it
the
is.
90s. That's kind of like late for originating the nerd trope. I would have thought that would
Steve
date like
Urkel,
way
yes,
further
it
back.
is Steve Urkel. But the fact that told people is clearly evident that I'm not crazy, okay? That was clearly enough of a descriptor for people to know who I was talking about. Yes, Steve Urkel, Family Matters. Think that. That is why glasses are ugly, people.
Except for the fact that apparently everyone wanted him, so I don't know.
By modern standards, however, have vastly changed what the word nerd actually means, though. So now the term nerd is a lot cooler than it was at the time. So we're in this transition phase where things like glasses and like clothes and all that are starting to be kind of dismantled a little bit more.
Maybe, yeah. I'm just, but
there are still, of course, remnants.
Yeah, I was gonna say that thing persisting. That's why it's more confusing than anything else. But yeah, it's also like it's that the thing is, it's mostly in rom-coms, particularly, where it's usually like the female main character, with all like, oh yeah, take off the glasses and suddenly she's beautiful or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm sure it's one of those things that'll go away eventually, but
Well, I mean, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs in 2011 did actually subvert the trope briefly, which I do appreciate. It was the case that the character would put the glasses back on, and that was when she became more beautiful because she was like my more authentic self, I guess. I think in the movie she actually just lost her contact lens or something like that.
Yeah,
and had already gone through the idea. Actually, I think in her origins she took off her glasses and then like in a flashback she was perceived to be more beautiful and something, and then afterwards because the guy accepts her for who she is, which is just an infinitely better message anyway. This is why subverting tropes has a merit. See, I'm not crazy either.
Well, I mean, even like Superman has a little bit of that, right? Like that's part of the reason of like Clark Kent, right? Like hunchback.
I would argue
glasses.
that I would argue that mild-mannered Clark Kent has more of a claim to the originator of this trope than Steve Urkel does by about 60 years.
Yeah, but yes, but also if I think nerd, I don't think Clark Kent initially. I would put him under the category of what I would consider Steve Urkel as like the poster boy for.
Okay, so apparently this is also, he also had a machine that turned into Stefan Urkel, who was a hot, confident version without glasses. That might be why you're remembering that. I did not know that happened. So I'm glad that we still have a Family Matters, I was going to say expert, but maybe just a Family Matters person that knows certain things about.
Have you always been that, jacked?
Yeah, I got a shake weight. It's kind of like endurance training for
Okay, this never gets brought up in Nerdy Prudes either.
It doesn't matter,
Guess I never noticed because of the suspenders. You should lose the suspenders.
That's my signature look.
That's again part of the.
This should be your
Yeah, it kind of is a signature look as well.
signature look.
Ah, yes, just a towel. Well, his signature look. What's his signature disease? Hypothermia.
He squints in the mirror. Well, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't give a fair assessment. What are you doing here?
Just trying to shower in peace.
Okay, I was gonna, but I'll get out of your hair.
Don't be stupid. There are separate stalls. Just take a shower.
And also, you didn't have your glasses on, so you can't see anything anyway.
Okay. At the same time?
I mean, you can go one off the other if you want, but that's going to be more awkward for you, the pair of you.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. Lord, help me. Outside, Grace runs towards the counselor's cabin, screaming.
God, I'm thinking of the end of Hellfire now.
Oh.
From the tree line,
That was a long voice call, even for Angela.
boy Jerry and girl Jerry emerge.
I wonder if she's able to time those, or if she just like knows what kind of range she's got to go into, like trigger that.
They're covered in dirt, carrying shovels.
What? What is it? Has someone else been murdered?
Accidentally!
Right. That's what I said. Isn't it Grace accidentally murdered?
It's worse. It's Stephanie. She's
I mean, accidental murder is just manslaughter.
relapsed.
Back in the boys' wash,
And again, girl Jerry is horrified.
Steph calls to Pete over the sound of their respective showers.
Hey, Pete, do you have a bar of soap over there?
Yeah.
Please don't make her drop the soap joke.
Can you pass it over?
She reaches up. Her hand pokes above the partition between the stalls. Pete looks at the bar of soap. Are you sure? I just...
Oh wait, no, they're gonna like hold their hands out, and they're gonna hold hands. Their hands are gonna graze for a moment's time, but it feels like forever.
rubbed it all over my body.
Yeah, you and 20 other guys.
Ew.
A fair point.
Gross. He puts the bar in her hand. For a moment, their fingers touch. Pete can't see it, but on her side of the partition, Steph flushes. She takes the soap, but the two quickly return to washing them.
I'm back.
After a moment, Pete asks, "So, you think it's true?
What?
The 5 missing kids. You think something like that could
Five
really
Nights at
happen
Freddy's. Is
in
this where you
Hatchetfield?
wanna be? Five Nights at Freddy's.
My dad's the mayor.
Na, na,
He
na,
says
na,
it
na.
shocks you.
Are you just becoming Big Bird now? Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but a crazy lumberjack who hates sexy time, that's a little far-fetched, don't you think?
Guess we'll never know. Unless we put it to the test.
What?
This is the most teen-fueled logic ever. Oh yeah, there might be like an axe murderer going around, bludgeoning people and such. Let's try and provoke it. See if it's really true, you know?
Well, I don't know. A part of me kind of feels like I might suggest this tactic as well, actually.
You have so much more to live for.
I don't know. I like playing with fire. Why not?
You have 3 pending projects.
Oh,
You can't
yeah.
work on those if you're dead.
That's fair.
I was kidding.
Oh. Good one.
Unless
Unless.
you wanted to.
Yeah, there we go.
Out in the woods, Lumberax stirs. He can sense someone's testing him.
Well, someone's thinking of testing him. They haven't actually done anything yet.
Maybe this stupid legend persists because none of these nerds have the guts to prove it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, they have far
Or they
fewer
didn't live
guts.
long enough to prove it.
Yeah, they have far fewer guts after the fact than they did before.
I mean, we'd be experimenting for the sake of scientific discovery.
I knew she was gonna say that.
Your thing?
Are you suggesting that we,
Why do you think I like science? What is it about me that gives that impression?
consolidate down to one shower?
That is not necessarily what she said. There are a myriad of other ways you could test this out.
We all know what she means, though. That's definitely what she's suggesting.
Thunders through the trees, the sanctity of his woods at stake. Steph considers the idea.
That would certainly get Lumberax's attention.
See, she considers the idea. She mulls it over.
If he was real. And, you know, we'd be conserving water.
That's important. You know, save the planet.
I mean, currently neither one of you is washing yourselves and just letting the water flow around you, so neither of you are being pretty concerned about water right now.
Hey, remember, consenting gang. Romantic shower time saves the environment. Healthy sex aids the world.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to take it that far if you're sharing a shower with a person. It's been known to happen, but it's also not necessary.
No, but it can help. It can only bring good.
Unless we're talking about bed bugs like we did earlier. That said, we were on a call before this. No one's going to get that in chat.
No. Bill always says, be the change you want to see in the world.
Right. So...
I imagine he's seen plenty of changes.
Outside the washroom, Lumberax can hear Steph and Pete through the wall.
I was there, Gandalf. I was there 3,000 years ago.
Pete puts his hand to the stall partition. Steph? Are you sure? Rumors spread, I'm a loser, and...
I mean, there's going to be a rumor about you anyway. Both of you are in the shower stalls together at this point. There will be rumors. But that being said, it is nice they call back to the theme that unites both of them in this scenario.
You're Stephanie Lauder.
Yeah, but... I thought we agreed whatever happens in the bathroom stays in the bathroom.
Well,
True.
sure, but
imagine if she changed her mind after he said that. It's like, you know what? I am Stephanie Lauder. See you later. Bye.
Yeah, here's the thing. It'll stay in the restroom with just you two. Here's the problem. There's a witness who never entered the restroom.
You're goddamn right. I'm coming over there. Outside, Lumberax
I thought she would go to him, honestly.
takes aim at the wall, preparing to chop straight through it, directly into Steph and Pete. Inside.
And then one of them slips on a bar of soap, and he never has to intervene.
He barges in, and then they invite him to join.
Okay.
And suddenly he was pacified.
Okay, on the count of 3. Pete grabs the shower curtain. He readies himself to hop out of his stall and into Steph's. 1.
And Steph, meanwhile, straightens up her hair, which is presumably dripping wet at this point, so it won't matter.
Lumberax takes aim.
2.
He winds up. The axe gleams, and...
Tchaikovsky, water!
Just before Pete can take the leap, Boy Jerry and Girl Jerry burst into the washroom. The team...
I love how they just did not register the 8-foot-tall, thundering, step-taking monster outside this very cabin. I don't imagine, Axeman is very easy to be concealed when he's when he's in action, basically.
Teens recoil. Girl Jerry screams.
Why Stephanie specifically? Do you not care about Peter or something?
Later, Pete and Steph stand outside the counselor's cabin awaiting their punishment. Girl
This formation, by the way, pit blue, pink, pink, blue.
Jerry looks on the verge of tears.
It's tic-tac-toe.
He's on the side of the cabin, they can't see him. Okay, well even then, he took thunderous steps to get there, and is 8 feet tall. I don't know how tall the cabin, maybe that cabin's probably tall, actually. Okay.
Boy Jerry wipes sweat from his forehead.
A boy and a girl. showering at the same time, only one stall apart. It's the most perverse thing I've heard in all my life. It's sick.
Same time, same place, 5 years later. What can I say?
Is that really the worst thing you've heard in all your life?
Consider his sheltered existence.
How about nothing? Because we're consenting adults.
They are? I thought they were in high school. How old are they exactly?
You can be both.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Pete seems to, because I never got the impression that that Pete was a senior in Nerdy Brews. I could be wrong. Never actually say outright, but he doesn't seem like a senior to me. So, and
Well,
honestly,
that doesn't necessarily mean anything. In my high school, it was a few people started turning the year prior to senior.
Turning what?
Yeah,
Oh right, turning it.
18.
Okay, fine. Yeah, all right.
No, until
Maybe.
werewolves, Jacob.
Yeah. I was like, turning for a second. Okay, so this one, the 18 senior. What I was trying to get at was that maybe in this version, they're actually like a little bit older. So by this point, this version of Pete has matured in certain ways. Steph is more or less the same as she was in Nerdy Brews, but Pete is very different. So maybe this is like a while later where he's sort of like mellowed out a little bit. I guess kind of learned to relax and I guess experiment. I don't know. Okay, apparently mentioned. All right.
I must question though, if you're 18, how did you manage to get dragged into this place?
That is a fair point. Yeah, that's yeah, now I think about it. Interesting.
I think you might.
Maybe Steph got threatened by with her phone being taken away, because that was a big thing in Nerdy Brews. I know in this one they kind of just, you know,
Again though,
immediately,
she's
and that was it.
18. They can't legally do that. The only thing they can threaten is eviction.
Maybe. Although who knows if she want to stay with her dad anyway. In the case of Pete, yeah, again, his family is an entire mystery apart from Ted.
Be a lost cause.
And his mother his father making shoes.
Slaughter? I'm surprised the rumors about you weren't true.
Oh, so they're acknowledging the fact that they know they weren't true. So good. At least we've covered that basis from, you know, Girl Jerry being traumatized over the mere assumption.
Cut it out! Excuse me, what was that? Girl Jerry, could you take Steph to her bunk and lock her in? I'd like to have a word with this young man in private, if you don't mind.
Girl Jerry leads her away. Steph glances back at Pete as she goes. Boy Jerry steps.
I wish they'd done like a thing with in the video composition where they just like, you know, like in like the Brady Bunch, of this like separates like that.
Closer, narrowing his eyes.
You're trash, Spankovsky.
Now we get what you were saying before.
Just like your brother. No Spankovsky will ever amount to a hill of beans in this town.
You're a slacker, McFly, just like your father before you.
So, I hope you enjoyed your little bath time, because it's solitary confinement for you.
It was a
For the rest of the
shower.
summer. I will not.
So Mail says Steph was an October surprise. I mean, that's great, but October of what year? I'm presuming now that if Haley says senior year was mentioned somewhere else, but that quote alone does not mean anything.
Not have you drooling over her like she's some piece of meat.
It's not like that. I like Steph, and I think she likes me too.
I mean, you could have just said you was looking for. I don't know. Whatever.
What's Steph got to do with it? I'm talking about Girl Jerry. Yeah. I've seen the way you look at her. Undressing her with your eyes. Imagining what it'd be like to plunge your hands into that hair. Feel.
Problem with this scene, I know it's supposed to be unfounded jealousy, but even unfounded jealousy is usually based on something. Even if it is like a minute detail that's been overhyped. In this case, I don't think we've ever seen any sort of interaction properly between Pete and Girl Jerry, aside from obviously the scene before this one. And there was no mention of him, you know, looking at her in any sort of way, quite honestly.
Her lips on yours just one more time, that's all. Well, not on my watch.
One
mister.
more
From now
time,
on,
huh?
Every time I have one of those thoughts, you're gonna make a wallet.
You mean every time I have one of those thoughts?
That is literally exactly what I said. Don't be stupid in front of me, Pete. Not a good look for you. I ought to put you in a canoe. I ought to let a bird walk all over you. Get to your cabin now.
Oh, you're gonna do a third rhyme?
I mean, it depends on what bird we're talking about here, because that might.
I will say some birds aren't so heavy, actually.
I was gonna say, are we talking Tweety or are we talking Big Bird? There's a huge difference there.
Big Bird will just use his hind legs and walk real casually.
I will count the steps it takes to go across you. 1. Very good.
When he's alone, Boy Jerry lets out a sigh of relief.
Can we also appreciate for a second how how hilarious that is for Sesame Street? They have actual names for these characters, right? Elmo, Kermit, right? You have Oz, right? You have all these actual names, and then you have the large bird. Huh? What are we gonna name the large yellow bird? Oh, I know, Big Bird.
Maybe that's. Maybe that's all the Big Bird's mother could think when she laid the egg. It's like, wow, look at this gigantic egg. That's one big bird. Oh, I know.
Gosh darn. Horny kids. Keep it together, Boy Jerry. Keep them chaste and it won't happen again.
Out in the woods,
He's the father of Axeman.
it's happening again. With the counselors distracted by the Pete and Steph commotion,
Also, I love the narration. Like, it won't happen again. Out in the woods, it's happening again. And of course, it's these two. I guess they've made up from the scare from before.
Mary and Noah found the perfect opportunity to sneak off for some private time.
Okay, I think we're alone. So, how far do you want to go?
I don't know. Maybe some over the clothes stuff?
Are you sure we're ready? I mean, we're only 18.
I'm ready.
See, okay, so they're 18 as well. Is there anyone who's like an actual child, or is this
I'm
just
beginning to run into an issue with this, which is that they felt like they couldn't do a sex scene with children, and for good reason, because you can't do a sex scene with children. However, they aren't
imagined that
children,
they were
which
going to-
means they aren't able. In what world they aren't forced? None of them are forced to be here. Not one of them.
Yeah, I imagine what was going to happen was that they were going to, build up that something was intended to happen by the characters, but then interrupt it each time. I thought that was what was going to happen. At most, a fade to black, but still.
As long as it's with you, Noah.
Oh, actually, now I remember this. Yeah, Grace does actually mention that she is 18. So I guess, but again, based on my limited knowledge of American high school, sometimes you don't even need to be in the same year group as somebody else in your own classroom. So that doesn't mean anything too much.
Okay.
This is true. I was the only sophomore. Damn it! How do the years work? Junior or sophomore? The year before senior.
That's junior, yeah.
Junior. I was the only junior in my financial math class. Everyone else was a senior.
There you go. I'm I'm all basing off of the fact that every time I complain about the year groups in Phoenix Job High, I always got complaints made saying, "Oh, that's just how it is with classes."
Not in every class, but yes, it does happen. Sometimes it's because it's like a below grade level if they don't want to put them in like a special education class or whatever. Sometimes they were held back. Other times there was like an elective or something. That's what happened for me, right?
But if they're held back, they're not in the grade, are they?
No, but you can still be held back through a certain class.
Okay. All right.
The reason I got into financial math was because without going into the years of trauma I had with the special education system, I had recently gotten out of it, and I had convinced them to, because they're like, okay, what do I do? And so instead of doing the actual like regular math class, I had done the elective, and we had essentially replaced the credits that I needed for math with the financial math class instead. And so I never took the regular math class.
Okay.
So there's a situation like that where that can happen.
All right. This makes me. The Ghost Kitty. I literally said this before. Like, these two felt like alumni. Well, not these two. Those two. The other two. There's a lot of boy-girl pairings within this establishment, which makes a lot of sense for the narrative they're trying to tell. I'm surprised that no one has been hinted at as towards being LGBTQ of any sort. Except apart from that one scene between like Steph and Grace with like just friends, keep it that way. Like you would think at some point there was like this some pairing somewhere. You're like, oh, they're not paying attention to the two of us now. It's just us girls or something. They don't think anything's gonna happen. I feel like that would be a scenario. Or us boys, I don't know.
Onto the leaves and
We've only ever seen the only boy character we've seen have been, oh
Right.
god, this freeze frame. Never mind. I was gonna make a point, but I'm gonna continue playing this video because I don't want to be on this freeze frame.
That does make me wonder. Oh, it doesn't get better.
No.
Oh dear God. It just keeps going.
I
Oh, hey,
think
man.
like Lauren composer stuff being like that.
Hacking rings out over the witchwood like nails on a chalkboard. Lumberax awakens. He cocks his head in the direction of the kissing. Hell no.
I love the idea of comparing kissing to nails on a chalkboard. With those two, yeah, maybe.
Not on his watch. He heads out. His bloody work's not done yet.
Man, this camp has the worst track record for this. This year group particularly, because if Lumberax comes after these two now, that's almost the same number of campers that have gone missing historically. If we're up to 3, and at some point presumably, Steph and Pete are going to be on the run from Lumberax in some way. So that's almost the entire roster that we've seen. I guess except for Grace, because of course Grace is exempt from this.
Noah and Mary flop on top of each other, mouths gaping like a couple
Flop
of
'em.
fish.
Good grief. Flopping and fish, not good.
You're a great kisser, Noah.
She guides him back upright and smiles playfully.
I'm gonna unbutton my blouse now.
That was part of the song from before.
Don't lose your head.
Is he gonna get decapitated right when it happens?
Slap! The mad woodsman's axe
Never mind, before it happens. Okay, I was close.
slashes through Noah's sinewy neck. His head goes flying. Blood splashes onto Mary's screaming face. Lumberax puts a finger to her lips. She falls silent. He raises his hand and wags his index. Then he punches a fist straight through her ribcage.
For an axe murderer, he doesn't use his axe very often.
Across camp, Grace spots Steph being led to the pink bunks by one of the counselors.
Hey, what's going on?
I guess girl Jerry got bored. Or is trying to cover up the murder of, what was it, Gabe? Yeah, it was Gabe.
Solitary confinement for the rest of summer.
Wow, the rest of summer? I thought it was going to be for, like the day or something.
What? Yeah, Grace. Thanks for tattling. Again.
Steph, I didn't think they'd do this. I was just trying to help. I'm your friend.
No, you're not. You're an annoying, self-righteous, nerdy prude. And the only good thing about this is that I won't have to spend any more time with you.
The counselor opens the cabin.
All right, louder. Inside.
Steph enters and he slams the door. He flips a metal latch into place and clicks on a heavy padlock.
Is it deliberate that it's Corey playing this role again? Because he also plays, Mayor Louder. And yeah, I knew that the time was going to happen at some point. Whether or not it happened before or after was another matter, but yeah.
This isn't right. How is she supposed to learn if she can't come to the activities? The prayer circles?
Hey, you don't like it?
take it up with the Jerrys.
She will. That's not even much of a threat. That's just, okay, I will do that.
On the path to the administration office, Boy Jerry walks with Girl Jerry. She's on edge, biting her lip nervously.
This is getting out of hand.
What do you mean? The crisis has been averted. We buried the body. No one will ever find it.
What do we tell Gabe's parents?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what?
The same thing we told all the others. It's the woods. People go missing every day.
Okay, but only 5 kids been reported missing, right? That's not every day, unless their camp was only open for 5 days in the previous
you
year.
know, it's 5 a
Which,
year.
you know, it wasn't because Ted went here.
Well, no, Ghost Kitty, this isn't child abuse. None of them are children. It's just abuse.
My goodness, yeah.
It's just a casual abuse. Actually, dare I argue, this is arguably kidnapping. They literally locked someone inside of their room.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And then took away all of their means of communication.
Well, they did that way before. Wrong way around. They took away the communication first, then they locked them in a room.
Sure, yes. I guess, yeah.
Imagine that defense in a court. It's like, objection. It was the other way around. We solved the case, didn't we?
Oh my god, it's like that one. Have you seen that one Judge Judy case? Where someone is suing, someone stole someone's purse, right? And the girl's like, hey, yeah, he stole my purse, and they list all the stuff, and it involved like you know, earbuds, wallet, etc. And the guy who was being accused says, Your Honor, there were no earbuds in there.
I think I've seen that in like a compilation of shortest cases.
Sure.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was a very short case, as one can imagine.
Yep. I think there was a famous example of, I think, because Abraham Lincoln used to be a lawyer, and at one point there was somebody who was like, you know, like who was driving like a horse-drawn carriage, and like, you know, what you're supposed to do at that point in time was, you know, yell to somebody who's walking in the street to move out of the way. This person didn't do that, and then, you know, took the pedestrian, I suppose, to court. The pedestrian was defended by Lincoln, who at one point somehow managed to trick the person into saying that they'd actually didn't yell in some way. I don't quite remember all the details, but I guess that's a trick as old as time. But there's usually no lawyers in Judge Judy, so I suppose.
No, I will say Lincoln was also a wrestler, which is a fun thing. But I looked it up because I didn't know about the lawyer thing, and so I looked it up. I was like, was Abraham Lincoln a lawyer? You know what the first result says? The first result is like, yeah, you know, he had a successful legal career in Illinois, spanning nearly 25 years. Like most lawyers of his time, he did not attend law school. Which is such a funny statement to just throw out there. Like most lawyers, he didn't go to school for it.
Well, you know, for people to raise the bar, some people had to pass it when it was lower. I don't know.
Man, what an adventurous life Abraham Lincoln had, am I right?
I don't know. I'm more impressed that Alexander Hamilton got like a job of who became a founding father at 14. But anyway.
He was a little perv, and now he's burning in hell for it.
You're right.
But the rest of these kids, they need us. They need this camp.
They aren't kids, though.
Stop
neglecting this.
You can understand my prior confusion about this matter.
The office door. Girl Jerry claps her hand over her mouth. In the center of the room is a pile of bloody bodies.
Boy Jerry is just so done with this. It's like, I just buried one body. What is wrong with people?
Noah and Mary's. They're stacked on top of each other like freshly cut firewood.
Shoot.
That's it. I'm calling the police.
Girl Jerry goes for the phone when Boy Jerry catches her arm.
It's our son, remember?
I don't think you've thought this through, girl Jerry. You think they're just gonna come here and cart off the bodies? No. They're gonna poke around. And they're gonna find everything. You ready for that? For the whole town to know what you did? Dirty girl.
Okay, there's a bit of a reference to Nerdy Prudes there as well.
Tell me that.
He pulls her closer.
That's what you are, isn't it? A dirty girl.
She wraps her arms around him, burying her nails in his back.
Yes. I'm a dirty girl.
Yeah, you are. You're absolutely filthy.
Boy, Jerry.
That's the thing, they are picking a lane. These two refer to them as kids. Every age is 18. I don't know. What are these two talking about?
I don't know.
What, is this an alternate timeline where the legal age was bumped up or something?
Yeah, kind of makes me wonder what the age of the characters in MAMD was. They were probably seniors too.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh!
Grace Chastity stands wide-eyed in the doorway.
Grace! We can explain!
Girl Jerry had something in her teeth and I was gonna lick it out. What's wrong?
Noah and Mary! They're dead!
Yeah, see, Grace at the very least is able to prioritize. Like, yes, she has her, I guess, zealotry, maybe that might be the word, potentially, but when someone dies, someone dies.
Grace, just calm down and we'll talk.
No!
She runs from the office.
What wonderful line delivery. No!
Yeah, again, Angela, the queen of voice cracks.
Great! Gosh darn son of a gun! Go after her!
But the bodies!
I'll handle it!
Outside, the sun sinks over the horizon. In the locked blue cabin, Pete lays on his cot.
Oh man, this sucks. What am I supposed to do for the rest of the summer?
I mean, at least you're not being forced to march around. You know, think of your blood sugar.
He kicks the wall in frustration. When he does, one of the wooden boards comes loose and falls to the floor. Behind it, a hiding spot. There's something inside, covered in cobwebs. Pete reaches in and pulls out a 20-year-old pornographic magazine.
I thought it was going to be like a diary of like an old camper or something. Ted, potentially.
He flips it open. There's something written on the first page. Property of Theodore Spankovsky.
I mean, it wasn't his diary, but it did belong to it. There you go. See? Right there. There it is.
A tear comes to Pete's eye. He holds the magazine to his chest.
He's with me always. Well, you know what they say? Never waste a locked door.
Pete opens the magazine.
He probably got that expression from Ted himself.
He unbuckles his
I like how
belt.
he stared down the camera like he was talking to the audience during that.
Yeah.
And an axe head bursts through the cabin door.
Holy shit! It's Lumberax! He's real!
A foot kicks through the splinters.
Again,
and Steph
Shaggy.
appears inside.
Zip it up, Spankowski. We're busting out of here.
Right.
She tosses the axe and takes off. Pete goes to follow her.
Wait, no,
Then
keep the axe. Hold on, wait, what do you mean she tossed the axe? If you think there's an axe killer here, why in the world would you toss?
I'm not sure if
your
I'm not sure
weapon?
if I'm not sure if Steph is convinced yet.
It doesn't
Because
matter
remember, that
if
might
there's a
have-
rumor that's happening. Then why would you, in fact, the fact that you have these random adults trying to kidnap you and stuff should be a good enough reason to ignore the supernatural slasher villain in the woods. There are monsters in your own area.
There are monsters and there are men.
God, keep the
There are
axe. What do you mean?
monsters that live in your bed.
I feel like whenever I watch things like this, I feel like I'm the only one in the world who's always like, no, keep whatever weapon you possibly can. You need to kill somebody if it comes down to it. Because for some reason, no screenwriter seems to agree with the sentiment. What's up with the protagonists and just tossing their weapons? There's dangerous things in the world, with or without the probable, already dangerous story. In fact, whenever I'm leaving school and walking home, I always have a pencil or something in my hand, hidden away, just in case some random man wants to come over and nab me and I could just stab it through their throat.
I was gonna say, how short must a pencil be for that? Okay, all right then.
He turns back to the dirty magazine and grabs it. Elsewhere, Grace runs for her life. She barrels through the woods, girl Jerry hot on her heels.
Grace, come back!
I usually walk with like my fist closed, so that kind of helps as well.
Grace's foot catches a root and she crashes to the dirt. She looks up to see girl Jerry standing over her.
And like I said before, horror characters tripping over nothing. Well, I mean, in this case it was something, but it's still, yeah.
I'm not gonna hurt you, Grace. I want to help you. All I ever wanted was to help you kids.
And another nice parallel to the fact that Grace before wanted to help and she clearly wasn't, and now she's like, no, I want to be left alone. Much like Steph did before.
In a way, that's all he wants too. He just takes things a little too far sometimes.
Crunch.
And by sometimes we mean now 8 separate occasions.
Steph and Pete rush through the darkness, kicking up leaves.
Do you know where we're going?
Those footsteps don't sound like they're rushing.
I have no clue.
I don't know. Maybe this isn't such a good idea. I mean, how big is Witchwood Forest anyway?
And should we have grabbed the axe on the way? Yes.
That says it's as big or small as it needs to be.
What's that supposed to mean?
Shh. Do you hear that?
In the distance, a voice. It's Boy Jerry, dragging a heavy, wet bag, muttering to himself.
All right, you campers, keep up. I got a special activity planned for you two. Hide and seek. Hold the seek.
Steph and Pete watch him empty the sack into a freshly dug ditch. Mary and Noah's body parts tumble into the hole.
Oh my god.
Who's there?
Boy Jerry whirls around, shining his flashlight into their faces.
Steph! Peter! Out of your bunks! Looking for a good spot to partake in some hanky-panky?
He advances. Steph recoils.
Honestly, that is the last thing on their minds right now. Pete's maybe.
Stay back, Pete. He's crazy.
Well, if you two can't keep your hands to yourself, I'll cut him off!
Boy Jerry pulls his shovel from the ground. He raises it above his head and leaps for Steph and Pete. Swipe! He swings the shovel. They dive from its path. He rounds on Pete, brandishing the tool like a spear. He lunges. Peter instinctively dodges and grabs the shovel's handle. All those years of training with that shake weight pay off as Pete starts swinging the shovel back and forth, until Boy Jerry loses his grip. He stumbles back and wham! Pete smacks him across the face with the shovel's blade.
I love how the random details in all these Nightmare Times just come into play.
Boy Jerry rolls to the ground with a bloody lip. Pete stands over him, triumphantly.
Also, don't bring a gun. This is Hatchet Field. You got to bring a hatchet.
Never tangle with the
Said the song.
With his opponent down, Pete raises the shovel and tries to break it across his thigh. Crunch! Something snaps, but not the shovel's hand.
Oh, I think I broke my leg.
Pete falls to the floor in immense pain. Steph rushes.
My effing legs.
Feels messed up. But you looked real cool right up until the end there.
Finish line. Story of my life.
Steph touches his face, gently.
Hey, I'm not into jocks.
She leans in and kisses it. Pete closes his eyes. He kisses back. They part, smiling. Then a chill runs down Steph's spine. She can see her breath hang in the air.
Dementors are on the way.
Steph and Pete turn to find a figure looming over them, 8 feet tall at least.
So much for those thunderous steps, am I right? Only when it's convenient.
He's dressed in tatters. He's stinking and heaving with anger. In his huge hands, a gleaming blade. Their jaws drop. Their eyes go wide. It's him.
I question how they're using the eye, by the way. Because, see, the eye's moving, but, like... how?
Yes.
Lumberaxe! Mad Woodsman swings his axe.
Which also, the fact that they can move the eye makes it significantly more comedic that he simply will never look in the right direction.
Pete roll away. The axe pounds into the ground. Steph grabs Pete's arm and helps him to
Oh, this is based on like slasher movies. They weren't gonna run anyways. They're gonna trip on a twig or something.
Well, he broke his leg unnecessarily, and also they don't have the axe then. Well, there's not the shovel.
Pries his weapon from the earth. Boy Jerry looks up and orders, "Get him, Lumpy!" Elsewhere, Grace screams
Listen to your father.
as girl Jerry approaches.
I was young when I had him. And a counselor at Abstinence camp? What would people say if they found out I'd had a child out of wedlock? I'd be ruined.
Yeah. Hmm?
So you see, I had to keep him a secret.
Did you now?
I'm out here.
Uh-huh.
I taught him to survive on berries and tree sap.
Yes.
But there's something about Witchwood Forest.
I don't know if you would call that surviving,
Things
but
grow here.
He's alive.
Grow fast.
sure, arguably. Kind of looks like a zombie or werewolf or both.
Little Jerry was over 6 feet by the time he turned 2.
Yeah.
We tried to teach.
Haha, yes, there we go. You said my oracle powers were gone, but they remained.
Okay, you know what? In my defense, this was not that hard of a plot twist to spot, okay? I thought of something vaguely similar as well. Okay.
Well, yeah, should have said.
Teach him about the importance of abstinence. And Will, he really took the lessons to heart. It wasn't what I intended.
He sure did.
I gave him the axe to chop firewood. That's all.
I mean, you somehow found a giant axe for this, you know, for this like 6 foot tall dude.
Yeah, and you know, yeah, but then she found the main character, right? She also found a big old axe. Where are they keeping all the big axes at?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess they need a lot of firewood for these campfires.
Use it to.
A scream in the distance. Grace recognizes the voice.
Steph.
I really want to watch the Kolok saga at some point on this channel, by the way.
You know,
sorry, not Kolok saga, the Phobos saga. Kolok is a series in the Phobos saga.
Okay, you know, it's somewhat wholesome that, you know, Grace identified Steph via the scream alone.
Grace scrambles to her feet and takes off in Steph's direction. Peter limps along, hanging from Steph's side.
Come on, Pete. Keep up.
I'm trying.
Try harder.
Whoosh! Something.
I guess that's a callback to the marching scene. Then again, they could have just had him with his low blood sugar, and that would have already been a plot point. But yeah, this whole thing is that stuff daily. Basically, his job now. Hey, technically, if I'm monetized to do this on 2 separate channels, yeah. So pretty much.
Whips past their faces and slams into a nearby tree. It's the shovel, and it's just missed him.
That's some great sound effects.
Yards off.
Well, I guess there goes their only weapon.
Lumberex stands, having thrown the tool. Not to kill, just to taunt. He grips his axe hand.
I love the grunt of affirmation.
To maim or seriously injure.
And stomps forward. Clomp, clomp.
Alright.
Steph grabs the shovel and pulls it from the tree. The mad woodsman charges, raising his blade. Steph runs for him at full speed.
Fuck you, Lumberax!
She jams the shovel into his chest. She leans forward, driving the blade deeper, but it doesn't get far. Smack! Lumberax backhands her. She hits the ground. Steph! She skips.
He does a whole like demon warlock thing where he just like pulls it out of like the other side of his body.
Through the underbrush, rolling to a stop. Lumberex looks down at the shovel protruding from his sternum. He plucks it out with ease and breaks it across his thigh.
he makes it look easy.
Bruised Steph struggles to stand.
You know, see, this is the thing. You know, Nutty Prude's Pete's always unintentionally funny. Nightmare Time Pete, wisecracking at all times.
Lumberjack's head straight for her.
Hey, leave her alone.
This version of Pete is actually, funny enough, very similar to Peter Parker.
He's actually gonna pull a move that's very similar to Ron Weasley right now.
After them, but can't make it on his hurt leg.
Okay, so in the Prison of Azkaban book, even Ron's leg, instead of like just being like mildly bitten by Sirius in dog form, it's just straight up broken. But even afterwards, even after like the reveal happens, he like gets up and puts himself before Harry and Hermione, Harry particularly, obviously, because he's the target, or at least he thinks he is. And he's the one who says, if you want to kill Harry, you have to kill us both. And that's one of his like bravest moments ever. And they give it to Hermione in the movie with no broken leg, and Ron's just whimpering in the corner.
Desperately flails, trying
Boo,
to
coward Ron.
He starts throwing.
Galadriel's kind of reminds me of Harley Quinn, but being broken by people who are supposedly meant to be their partners.
I don't know. That's really surface level Harley Quinn.
Yeah, and also it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't entirely Boy Jerry's idea. Takes two to tango there.
Things. Stones, sticks, the halves of the broken shovel.
I'm right here.
With nothing left to throw, Pete hurls Ted's porno mag at Lumberjack.
Throw his glasses. Oh, okay, the mag too, yeah.
It lands on the ground, flipping open. Lumberjack sees it and stops, dead in his tracks. He covers his glassy green eye, trying to shield himself
Man, I guess he's he's into Stacy's melons now.
from the smut on the pages.
Steph!
Hey, Lumberax man, how many gallons does it take until she's fully fed?
Mm-hmm.
Get it!
Imagine if they
whatever the quote
defeated
was.
Lumbrax but via 2 jugs of watermelon juice.
Steph stumbles to her feet. She rushes for the magazine. She grabs it and thrusts it toward Lumberjack.
Oh yeah? How do you like that, huh? Look at that sinful shit.
Just flip through like all the pages or something.
Pouring in her hands, Steph advances. and
Like a
Lumberjack's
Clockwork Orange.
It's working, Steph!
She backs Lumberjack against a tree. He falls to his knees, afraid, cowering at the sight of sex. Just when Steph thinks she's won.
I have
she's
to
tamed
ask, because they keep on painting his mom as like a somewhat decent person, but I have to wonder what she did.
Do?
Huh?
Do they though? Like Girl Jerry, I don't know.
Girl Jerry is way better than Boy Jerry. Astronomically so.
Okay, sure, and like Harley Quinn is not as bad as the Joker. What's your point?
Yeah, she's still a better person than the Joker, though.
That's the barometer, I guess.
Yes.
I'm not the worst person, you know, in humanity, so therefore I must be good.
And so I do have to wonder what she did to this dude.
Mm-hmm. I was more terrified of the free zone with Steph, quite honestly.
Huge hands into the ground. He takes hold of the tree's roots and starts to pull. The earth shakes beneath them. Slowly, Lumberjack stand, ripping the tree from the ground.
Holy shit.
Lumberjack lifts the tree above his head and hurls it at Steph. Whoosh! It flies through the air. Steph dives. The tree comes crashing down.
Did it crush the magazine?
Steph! Steph!
When the dust settles, the magazine's in shreds, and Steph is pinned under a branch. Lumberjack rises to his full height. He plows forward. He raises his axe. Steph winces, and... No! Grace throws herself between Steph and the mad woodsman. He stares down
That was
at
a
Grace.
solid echo.
He cocks his head.
Yeah.
But his axe does not fall. Boy Jerry appears from the dark.
What are you waiting for?
She's tried her best when your kid is 6 foot by age 2 and already a motive. There's not much you could do. I mean, Girl Jerry is very clearly the most traumatized character in this, at least until the events of the actual narrative.
Kill them. All of them. They're all disgusting.
Of course, he's in red lighting now.
Not me! There's one thing you better hurry up and know about Grace Chastity.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest prude you'll ever meet.
She's lying. She's a dirty girl.
I'm not!
She looks into Lumberax's glassy eye.
And you can tell, can't you? That's why you won't harm me.
Boy Jerry stomps, commanding.
Do it, little Jerry!
You think I just wear a swimsuit in the shower at camp? No way! It's a house rule, too! No one is seeing this until I'm married. Not even
I can vouch for that. That is an actual plot point.
me.
Boy Jerry yells to Lumberax.
You gotta wonder how she gets changed from that, though. I guess with her eyes closed, maybe, but...
You're gonna bleed her over me?
You know how much of a prude I am? I knitted tiny little sweaters for all the crucifix Jesus statues in our house. I get that he's dying for our sins, but he doesn't need to have his nips out when he does it.
You will do as
Never thought of it like that.
Jerry.
It's great.
Your father.
And Girl Jerry's his mother.
Yes.
Lord said, honor thy mother and father. Now split her skull.
I mean, I don't think, little Jerry here was ever old enough to read the Bible or understand it, so you might be out of luck there.
No. Okay, think about it, little Jerry. If Boy Jerry and Girl Jerry are your mother and father, you know what that means, don't you?
It means we prayed to heaven and a stork delivered you to our door.
It means they had sex.
Grace Chastity just delivering the birds and the bees talk is something I never thought I would see.
They fornicated! In your woods!
Lumberax rages.
I love seeing Grace's little nod. Yeah!
That's right, get mad!
Swings his blade wildly.
Little Jerry, calm down. You're gonna hurt yourself with that thing.
On the Bible. Yeah, at 2. That's no, what's gonna sink in?
Think it's best if you give your old man the axe.
Lumberax turns to his father and gives him the axe, all right. Right
Yeah, of
between
course.
the eyes.
Let me have it. I insist you let me have it. Come on, let me have it.
The blade splits Boy Jerry's skull. Then, with a demon's strength, the woodsman pushes down. His axe glides through Boy Jerry's neck, and chest, and stomach, and groin. Slash, slash. The two halves of Boy Jerry fall to the forest floor with a splat.
Oh my god! What have you done?
Girl Jerry appears, screaming in terror. She runs to the bloody bits of her lover.
Boy Jerry! Boy Jerry!
Even now, she has to refer to him as Boy Jerry. Fantastic.
She glares up to her son. He stares back with vacant, remorseless eyes.
Just finish it, you ungrateful
I mean, it's there's back all right. I guess he is 8 foot tall, so he has to look down at all times, maybe.
Lumberax kicks her chest, like a punter kicking a field goal. She flies through the air, smacks into a tree, and explodes. Flop, flop, flop. Bloody chunks rain down. Lumberax heaves, then stumbles back to Grace. Pete and Steph look on in wonder. Grace faces the woodsman without fear.
I think I understand you.
I don't actually know the this tune. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks, and when she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, trying to get to at least 41. That's a... Okay, I was with this rhyme until, like, the last bit. What on earth was that last section? They just gave up. Someone took 41 whack to the creative process right there.
Maybe we understand each other.
Suddenly, Lumberax lifts his blade. Grace winces. But then, he slowly lowers it.
And in this meantime, I presume that Steph and Pete have run away. Or run and limped away. Like anyone would in this scenario, if they know they're a target and Grace is immune.
Handing it to her. Grace gazes down at the weapon.
A murder weapon. Awesome.
Then it turns and lumbers back into the woods. The three teens
Nice
watch
use
him
of
go.
verbs there.
Finally safe, Steph pulls.
You know, I know we haven't seen Nutty Prudes yet, but to quote Professor McGonagall here, why is it when something happens, it is always you three?
pulls Peter to his feet.
Come on, Pete. Let's get out of here.
She starts leading him away when Grace blocks their path.
Not so fast. The summer's not over yet.
Days later, Grace stands in the Arts and Crafts Pavilion, putting the finishing touches on her project. She turns to a room full of campers.
And that is how you weave a basket.
Oh, okay. Do you know what? Like, yeah, weave a basket instead of a wallet. Yeah.
All right, everybody, hop to it.
The kids line up, grabbing strips of cedar bark. They sit around tables, working quietly. One of the campers scratches their head, trying to make sense of it all.
So, the camp
Oh, look, she's finally back.
directors disappear and we're supposed to pretend nothing happened?
I mean, there are other counselors. I'm surprised that Grace was in charge. I mean, I guess she's got the axe, but still.
Like, this is weird, right?
Just shut up and weave a basket.
Grace oversees the camper's work. As she does, she absent-mindedly sharpens her axe.
I anxiously await abstinence camp all year long, and I am not gonna let a few bumps in the road spoil my summer. For the next few weeks, we're gonna have some good, wholesome fun. Or else.
Another kid grumbles.
Who put her in charge?
You don't
Yeah, where are the other counselors?
want to know. Outside, at the edge of the tree line, a hulking figure watches. He nods his mighty head in approval. At long last, his woods are clean. For now.
Here we go.
We will see him again.
He's got the hands that rumble. He's got the steps that crumble ground. Oh, the sound. He's got his mind on the liver. You know when he will deliver. He's not your daddy's lumberjack.
He's a literal monster. Okay, that's one last one. I had to get one last one in. They brought the song back, so yeah, Brad brought the joke back. It's only fair. It's only fair. That's why Grace and her and the Most Man were not they're not so different, you know. He and her, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, there is. I suppose. I mean, if anything, you know, they got to have some good, clean fun towards the end, and then I presume they went home because you know the song will be over by that point. Although it must be said that if Grace does look forward to it every year, and she only just turned 18 now, that means that you know there are actual kids at this particular camp. So I guess it's a you know something to 18 deal potentially. But then again, still being forced to sign up by that point, yeah, Steph and Pete probably did not need to be here. So there is that. Yeah, this was an interesting return to form. I can see why this would be some people's favorite episode. Because yeah, we don't have to wait too long, in fact, not at all, for the supernatural element to kick in. It's very recognizable themes. It has probably one of the best songs, if not the best song of Nightmare Time thus far. It's been a while, so I have to verify that. And all the characters, again, even with the horrors of Hatchetfield, the characters are just fun. Because like I said before, I'm not hugely into horror in general. If it weren't for the humor attached to this, and just how how still undeniably Starkid this all is, despite how serious it gets at times. Yeah, probably wouldn't be for me. That's sort of why I thought I wasn't so into Nightmare Time at the beginning. I thought like, oh, this is like too much in this one direction. But yeah, I retract that for mentality. Well, I retracted it a long time ago, but still, I retract it again. I retract it. I don't know.
I mean, into horror or not, still recommend reading House of Leaves.
That's not what we're talking about here, but sure.
Well, you said you weren't too into horror. It's a horror book. Figured it was a clean segue.
Not really, because I moved on from that point to talking about Starkid itself. So it would have been a clean segue like 2 minutes ago. Grace's tendency to cause issues said today to become the villain she defeated herself. Yeah, except in this instance, she's not going to have any power once that axe gets taken away from her. Like, at some point, she has to sleep. Put it that way.
You guys remember when Aidan said he'd be back in 20 minutes?
Yeah, like I can vouch that was an hour and 20 minutes ago almost. Been keeping track there.
No, guys, I swear I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Gosh, that was epic. I grow to love Team Starkid more and more each time you guys show one of their videos. I'm glad. I mean, this started off as me, showing people, the epicness of Starkid, showing it to BB and Aidan for the first time, and then, people came on and told me, like, hey, actually, they're even more epic than you might think, and here's the other reasons, and actually tried to, like, the crowd of Starkid people, but also some other audiences, too. We've got a good mixture of people who are discovering Starkid for the first time, and also ones that are coming back and helping us discover more things, too.
I will say it kind of sucks because I've never seen any of these Starkid people show up on any of my streams, which tells me as soon as we're done with the Starkid stuff, I have to wonder where they will all migrate to.
That is, that is a concern. Admittedly, it's one of those things. Once we get to that point, usually what I try to do when something's like wrapping up is start something new alongside of it. Like when I was no longer able to stream My Street 5 years later, I was like, that was like the main thing people were watching my channel for at the time. It's like, okay, what am I going to do? I moved Gacha Review to live, and now that's what the main thing is. So sometimes we got do like a little bit of a cross, or like an overlap before that happens. So at some point we're gonna have to think of an overlap. And no, I do not mean Tin Can Bros. Although now I mentioned Tin Can Bros, we promised Tin Can Bros like back in November, I think.
I still want to watch Pfizer forever.
And we've got to the point, I think, where we've gone through classic Starkid. We've gone through slightly more obscure Starkid, and we've gone through a lot of modern Starkid. We're back to we've looped it back around to Nightmare Time again. I think now, since we've covered the whole range, I guess, of not every piece of content, but the whole idea of what Starkid represents, I think now might be a good time to say, next week let's do some Tin Can Bros. I think the time has come. The nightmare can wait a little bit longer, I think. I mean, if waited this long, it's been over a month. Nightmare time. almost 2, I think, actually, by this point. I don't know if we're going to start with spies because
God dang it!
I say I don't know because I haven't I've never been on the Team Cambros channel, so I don't know what their first thing was. So if I know you like to go chronologically, so it would make sense to start from the beginning. So whatever's on the beginning of Team Cambros will we should probably tackle for that reason, I think.
See, God, Ghost Kitty, don't guilt trip me here, man. I want to do more mechanisms, but I just can't figure out when. I
That's a fair
really do
question.
want to show the gang more, but I don't. Not me. No, that.
All right, Doodle Bob, calm down.
No.
What was that? Please let me know those means of liking or disliking,
No.
and leaving your comments on things that we've missed out in this video. Yes, I do agree. We will see them soon enough in another